What is the character trait?
That's /R/N.
Character trait new line. Does not actually accept my character trait new line.
But it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't show up either. It knows it's a thing, but it doesn't know what it does.
Also, we're live.
I was gonna say my pocket just buzzed, so I think we're streaming, you guys.
So it also doesn't honor more than one space, which is curious. I wonder if I copy a tab. So hi everybody, Mike J. Dark Sunberard here, GM Mike if you like, with another episode of That D&D Podcast presents Knights of the Ashen Empire, our 5th edition game on Thursday nights, and you know that because you're here. Did I properly introduce the thing? Hi there, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. If I didn't do that first, pretend that was first. We're on fire. We are doing everything. All of our cylinders are absolutely perfect tonight. So why don't we all introduce ourselves in Discord order? And I've already gone, so I think that as Andrew next.
Nope. It would be me. Hi, my name is Jordan, and it's Alexia in Discord. And tonight I'll be playing Vashla, Stormforged, Dwarf Fighter, Eldritch Knight, Guardian of Sinrathi, and the goat.
And the goat.
And the goat. But me and the goat parted ways, so...
No, I mean greatest of all time.
Yeah.
If you have a goat with you, it provides 1 Constitution bonus, and the
pet party modifier?
Yeah, exactly. And that's everything.
I want to go back to the village to get the goat.
Well, now I know what I'm playing in Genesis. I'm going to be playing the prodigal goat.
Oh, wow. Hi, I'm Andrew, and tonight I'll be reprising my role in Severe Lighting as Sinrathi Cobb, They of Hope and Power.
I am next, and I am Aaron, and I'll be playing the part of Kaith, who birds at things all the time.
And hi,
sorry,
I'm Adam, and I'll be playing Fritz the Angry Gnome, who puts things in bags.
I turned lights on.
I love that that's basically the description for low-rent Santa Claus too. But you're not. Fritz isn't angry. Fritz is put upon. Fritz is
resigned.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I like that. I like that word.
Make some puns over.
I mean,
resigned too.
Fritz is 5 years from actually going postal.
And by that you mean retiring and delivering the mail.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
with
just
the bag of holding.
Becoming Fritz mail seed, essentially, just with the bag full of mail. Oh, is it my turn? Hi, I'm Zach. I'm in bad lighting, so you can't tell that I'm wearing a bunch of baby aspirin or Tylenol, whatever the thing is you can actually give them is. Don't worry, internet. I have a doctor here.
Baby fever reducer.
Yeah, whatever the stuff in the syringe is. I'm wearing a bunch of it. I'm playing Yorha, the religious barbarian, and I'm in a really good headspace tonight, if you can't tell already.
Yeah, it's perfect. Just to cross the streams entirely, tonight's card, oh my god, is the devil.
Oh my god.
I've been told I have the devil's red hair.
At the same time, it could just be the Sinrathi card.
That's true.
And we'd never know.
Well, I mean, Sinrathi would have to tell us, because that's what happens if you're a devil, right? You have to tell us if you ask.
I tell no lies.
Yeah. So when last we left the Knights of the Ashen Empire, I was accidentally lowering the volume for everyone. We had taken over. Y'all had successfully overthrown an outpost, and I think there was a party afterwards. Oh, that's right. You cut off some guy's hands. Same thing.
Cut off? We did not cut off.
They just kind of fell off.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember this, and I'm sad again.
There was no cutting, and there was no pulling. Well, there was a little pulling, but it wasn't like a tearing. They just sort of sloughed off.
No, they detached because they couldn't detect his arms anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we burned them.
And
the arms, not the person.
Right. The person was left with to continue their semi-armless existence.
They have arms. They have prosthesis.
Prosthetics. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I said.
They had prostheses.
They have more. I made them.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right. They have gnomish prostheses. Yes.
And then Kaith gave them all of her money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we pick up, return, pick off. I don't know what word I'm looking for here. We are in this. You've finished taking over this outpost. There is no longer any sign of rot here. It has been burned. You have. I think that one of you spent a lot of time making sure that there was nothing rot-like here, burning everything that was or could have been construed as such.
Yeah, I took my fire Roomba around the fort, got in all the corners.
And I hucked literally everything that was semi-suspicious into a fire that was pre-existing. Yes. Including that dude's arm.
I thought you were going to say including myself.
Yes. It wouldn't be the first time. You just, every once in a while, you just got to do the cleanse and start over.
Yeah, some people use cleansing juice, right? Other people self-immolate.
Pure organic fire is the only way to go.
No, that's right. It purifies everything.
Get rid of the toxins.
That's right. Cleanses, makes anew. Without all the
toxins. I'm imagining burning your house like burning a tire. Just
volcanic
like
free-range
black
fire.
Smoke.
Okay, so you are here in this outpost. It's largely smoldering. The things that could be burned have been burnt. There is a saddened, prosthesized.
We also cut the cord of the the rot internet or whatever. There was like a vine running through the ground that was severed.
A rot trunk.
Yeah, rot trunk.
I think we told the cart driver what has Fritz's handiwork. Forgive the pun. Sent him off to the nearest major population center and told them we'd check up on them in future and try to do a V2 on the hands.
Yeah.
And then I want to say the biggest open question we had at the end of last session was where TF is the portal sustaining all this rot?
Right. And that is a question. You know what? Let's Yorha, did you ask your previous selves if this is a thing you'd seen in the past?
I can't remember whether we did that at the end of last time or not. I would have probably asked them. I mean, I assume that I'm always on the lookout for stuff that I've seen before because that's basically the way that I'm useful. Is rolling those fours on knowledge checks. So
The thing he rolled for was something different, though.
Was it?
Yeah, it was regarding the enemies themselves, not.
Okay. Oh yeah, because that one guy did the weird thing, right? Where he didn't die right away. Yeah.
So you've got guidance. So go ahead and roll 2d6 plus your insight modifier, and take advantage from Senrathu. So you can roll twice. I'm sorry. It's you get 1d4 because of guidance.
Well, I'm sure that 1d4 is going to make the difference here.
Can't hurt.
I was going to say it could double it.
Yeah. So
It didn't, but it could have.
Right. The good news is that you didn't. I have no good news for you. I'm sorry. Yeah. So this is totally new and strange and unique, and you haven't seen anything like it before, and that's not great, right? If this entire outbreak set, right, has been defined by things that are not usual, things that are not normal. You haven't seen them fighting in formation before. You haven't seen these people wearing rot armor before or wielding this dark magic. You haven't seen prosthetics, rot prosthetics that have been welded onto commoners. And you've never seen a rot trunk like this before.
Okay. This is weird.
This is also I've mentioned it in a previous session, but the world around you is starting to exhibit like general rot-like characteristics, right? There are plants that don't belong that have started sprouting up here and there, like amongst the weeds sort of things. Like the foliage seems to be going autumny a little bit earlier than usual. Like, you know, the leaves are beginning to get that orange tinge. Things here are not right.
Yeah. Okay.
So I go find Jody and ask her what Gone would do. That's a Pillars of Eternity 2 reference for literally only Michael.
I was gonna say that's
Making references for a 2-day-old game, huh? That's
yeah.
One
Which
and
one is
change.
Jody?
Jody
that
is
Jody Lantern Girl?
yes,
Okay.
I'm gonna call that controlled, but low effect.
limited.
Limited effect.
Her whole thing is like one aspect of the god of life is like decay and death, such that new life can take its place. So I mean that seems kind of like what might be happening here. So what I'm actually trying to do is like perform religiosity at it.
Yeah. And give yourself guidance, even if you don't cast the spell.
The guiding light of a lantern leads me forward. 14 plus 17 total.
17 total. So one of the things that you notice here is that it is incredibly you don't have problems tapping into the source of divinity. Everything seems closer to God here.
So this is like the fourth time this has come up in the campaign. And Senrathi has basic pattern recognition, I hope. And it always seems to happen in places that are rot touched. So, like, I think
that seems to be true.
So, I think Senrathi kind of wants to apply, like, some quantity of the scientific method to this problem. And I don't know if that's, like, starting a long-term project or whatever we want to call that. But, like, are you their god, and are you also rot? Is basically, like, the thing that Senrathi is going to be trying to figure out here. And if that answer is yes, I have no idea what the fuck happens to this character.
Then we should definitely. There goes me, Senrathi. Yeah, let's start with like how are you going to start investigating in that? Like, is there a process that, like, are you going to try to punch a hole between the worlds? Right? Are you going to drill? Like, there's all sorts of lovely apocalyptic imagery that we can draw from if that's what we're pushing towards.
I mean, like, there's that cable of rot running through the world.
Yes.
Fuck, I don't know. Like, basically, like the first few steps are like walk closer to that thing, like attempt a vaguely religious thing, walk a bit further, attempt a vaguely religious thing. It's probably not going to change too much, but I want to see if there's like an inverse square law there because Andrew's a physics nerd. But like, I mean, like, yeah, you mentioned trying to like drill into the like house of God functionally. And so I want to see if, like, I can maybe Arcana, because that's kind of, like, the practical application of magic.
Right.
So, yeah, like, Arcana at this wire and see if that goes to, like, a place of hope and or power.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's. So is this a thing that you're going to bring in other people on? Like, you've got at least 2 and possibly 3 other folk that are versed in... metaphysics.
I don't think so. Yeah, that's the skill that I really want from Pillars right now, is metaphysics.
Yeah. There will be boats in the next campaign.
So Aaron's coming back.
I saw Aaron's head just turn. It's very Keith-like, actually. It's like,
yeah, I don't bring in other people on this because, like quite frankly, I don't know what happens to Senrathi if he figures out that all the hope and power is actually just more rot bullshit. I'm guessing either like becomes a warlock or like self-immolates to stop the spread or something. But it's like the character just completely diverges from what we know him as today. So I'm going to roll Arcana and hope that I get a conclusive negative response. Great.
Oh, don't forget you are permanently. There you go. Sorry, Keith. The less than 3 disappeared when I typed it out.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't work. I don't know why.
Yeah, I am sad.
It's performing the mathematical operation of less than 3.
But that's true.
I mean, what's before it?
On an empty set?
Yeah. What's
No,
the null
it's-
set, Michael?
It's not null. There are characters there. They have value.
Okay.
Wait, no, they would be greater than 3. Sorry. Anyways, regardless, you get an 11. So the most. So you're talking about this inverse square law thing, right? You want to try to contact God far away and then farther and closer and see if it's easier. You try a handful of different things. One of the basic premises that Senrathi has applied over and over again is this concept of fire and radiant energy at the rot stuff, right? And kind of the simple question is do you believe the radiant energy comes from a place of goodness and light and hope?
Senrathi currently does, but is beginning to entertain doubt.
Well, it is effective against the rot stuff.
Sure.
So, it is your belief. I mean, if this stuff is being granted to you by a power that you believe in, called God or your God or whatever you call your God to be, and it is effective against the rot stuff, you haven't seen the rot stuff use a radiant energy source, for lack of a better phrase.
So that just means I have a very funky phenomenon where just like some shit appears closer to all gods. So like the veil, to use the Dragon Age terminology, is just thinner in places where there's a bunch of rot or similar.
Yeah.
That's the conclusion I'm reaching?
I mean, in this initial trial, for lack of a better phrase, reality, or the prime, or this place here, seems to be in one area, and the rot seems to come from something else. And wherever the rot is, reality is thin, to borrow the Stephen King terminology.
Cool. I wish I were higher level.
Which
Right
is like a
now.
9th level spell. You'll be level 5.
Well, no, just... Oh, fuck. Did I level up? I need to double check. Anyways, the thing that I basically want to do is, like, we should pull away from sight and nuke it from orbit, because that's the only way to be sure, and just, like, call down just, like, a giant pillar of holy light that I can't possibly manage mechanically at this level.
Sorry. God's right there, and you are they of hope and power.
Right. But we should make sure, like, the site's evacuated first. And then we nuke it from orbit.
I'm pretty sure if we catch Arm Guy in it, it'll be a blessing.
I don't.
It's a mercy for that person.
Listen. I tried to save a vampire. This person is, like, comparatively a trillion billion times more innocent.
Let's be real about your attempts to save people, though, right? And the normal outcomes for those people.
All right. With that cooking in the background, Adam,
hmm
what is Fritz doing?
We didn't find anything in the fort that would give like intel on the enemy, did we?
You found a giant black rock cable buried under the ground that have been exposed here.
Oh, that's right. We found the rock cable. I guess we're just gonna plan on tracking that back.
Okay.
I
Do you
don't know
want
if
to
we
jump
had
on the
it.
ground and trace it, or what's your plan for figuring out where it goes?
I'm trying to remember how much of it we exposed and what we did to it.
There was a pretty good sized pit that had already been dug around it, and it's been burnt as hard as it can. It was severed essentially, with one side kind of like withering away once it had been cut. The eastward side.
Okay, so I mean, from what we exposed, get a basic vector and start heading in that direction.
Yeah, it seems to run west-east, at least along where you are right now.
I think we just continue what we were doing, was just heading west towards where we thought the large encampment was, or where those forces were retreating to. So basically just going to herd cats and get all ready to get back on the road again.
Is there anything that anyone else wanted to do here before we change?
I think Keith is mostly just pouting outside the walls right now, like real sad. So that's all for me.
Okay.
Burning stuff.
Should I roll plus angst?
When you want to fit in, though, you need to pick a person that you want to bond with. So,
We got one.
The Apocalypse World games are so good. So what is the? Let's screen wipe, right? Let's jump forward sometime, right? We'll do the Star Wars thing where there's no time. We're no longer here. We're now somewhere else. Y'all are mounted up or walking westwards. You don't have like a horses or like a cart, I think, do you?
We have a cart. It's in the bag of holding,
Yeah,
which we had to
Or was,
put
at
back
least.
into the bag of holding.
Yeah.
right. Because I was loading stuff back onto it.
Okay, so you've got your.
Did we catch those goblins?
I think we convinced them to go back in or something. I don't know. There's so many questions about how this all works anyways.
Fritz was resigned as they were heading back, and he was just I acknowledge that I cannot keep them out of here, and so I will save myself time and effort and sanity.
Well, that's where the Fritz built them the breathing devices, because they're like the third or fourth iteration of this process, and he was tired of cleaning dead goblins out of his bag.
So I'm just picturing Fritz, being resigned, and he's just sitting there as they march in, single file. He's counting them.
1, 2. No, you can't have more than 3 kids. This is not okay.
One of them has to stay here.
That's right.
That's how Goblin clans spread. Fritz is going to be the Johnny Appleseed of goblins, not mail carrying.
Johnny Goblin Spawn.
Oh God.
That's awesome. You plant the goblin, right, in order to get around. Right,
You do the
grow.
same thing. You take one of the extra kids, you just put them in the ground.
They
That's
bud.
right.
They
Come
bud
back
like
to
orcs.
glitter. Oh, that's an
Well,
amazing idea, and we'll have to go back to it at some point.
If you plant them upside down, they're basically a tree, right? So they can bud from the feet. Yeah.
That's horrifying, and for some reason, things budding from your feet is a terrible, terrible idea. But also one I think I've read is some sort of horror short story.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So let's go back to to less goblin budding things. So yeah, we screen wipe, and y'all are on the cart heading west. And the you've got that the weather turns thing, right? It starts to rain a little. It's not really dark outside, but there is this kind of continual slow light rain. And it's got that summer months kind of warm drizzle to it where either it's not cold, it's not wet, the wind blows a little bit, it's not super uncomfortable, but it is wet because it's rain, but it's not it's not that cold horrible rain. It's kind of sunny and kind of dreary. there is on the horizon a small castle, almost like it's like only one floor. It's more of an armored church than anything else, and not terribly unusual sight in the Ashen Empire, because you build cathedrals to churches to Ash. There also doubles as fortifications, but they are unusual here in the Kingdom of Rod.
I just want to point out that Senarathi is totally in a metal band named Armored Church.
When you said when Armored Church first came up, I pictured an old man with a giant gun in like a suit of plate mail. So,
with a cat that's just like super pissed off to still be here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Near to that is like there's a village, or instead of like sort of like a pop-up city sort of thing. There's a lot of makeshift structures and what look like giant pens.
Like animal pens, I'm assuming.
Oh,
not like fountain pens, like okay.
it's not little clicky
just
pens sticking out of the
place where
fucking
you store
ground, Aaron.
goods.
This is Big Town,
How,
Vicksburg.
who runs Bixtown?
Vicksburg.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Is there anything in the pens that we can see from here?
Well, so you're still really far off. It's like just over the horizon, like just not over the horizon, on the far edge of the horizon. You start seeing the structure that appears to be like a fortified church, and much closer to you is this village thing with all of these like tall 10-foot walled wooden pens with like these giant doors on them. They are twice the size. They look like a goat pen, for lack of a better word, except the 10-foot tall privacy fence, I guess, is a better phrase for it, right? But they're not around a building. They're just around empty areas. Or as far as you can tell, there's nothing poking up out the top of the fence. And chat here is going a mile a minute. I hope we have it on the stream. We do.
Yes.
It's dope. It's all dope.
Zach, that's a pretty exclusive club you're talking about.
I'm
true.
very sorry, Mike. The main thing I heard was goat pens. I was like, cool, a goat.
If you turn the pen upside down, all the goat's fur comes off and it's naked. It's like
I hope you're proud.
Because of the pen. Got it.
Yeah, there we go.
There's actually one pin that has like 3 different colors of goats that if you hit the right button, they'll shoot them out at you.
Yeah, you click them, they just come out. Yeah, this is the red goat pen. Yeah, just these large fortified wooden structures, like giant pens.
There are like people around tending the pins. Like, is there activity?
Yeah, there are a significant number of these black armored figures, just moving around the village. They tend to go from site to site around the pens. There are little what do you call those structures that you build next to buildings in order to like
a shed?
No, like
In order to
little platforms, like in New York City when you want to like fix
Scaffolding?
Scaffolding. Thank you.
Oh.
There's like scaffolding up on the sides of these around these fences, where these armored figures go and they like huck buckets of stuff onto the other side of the pen. So there's like buildings where there's smoke coming out of several of them. So there's apparently a fireplace inside. There is a person working like a forge, and so it's and not a tavern, but like these a house that has horses tied up in front of it, like those weird shark unicorn things that you saw from before. But there's not like villagers, and there's no like there's no fields of
Amber grain?
vegetables or grain or anything. It's just sort of those crossroads style military encampments that tend to pop up on battlefield sort of areas.
How strong is my 1G, which is one god, signal in this neighborhood?
It's not weaker
Okay.
per se, but it's not as strong as it was at the crossroads where you were before.
Okay.
Did we fully cover the nuke it from orbit object option? Is that off the table?
I don't think Zenrothi has that kind of mojo. I think maybe if I were like, yeah, if we like, do you remember that D&D talk where it was just like you do the like from Hell's Heart I stab at thee move in D&D that they were talking about? Like I think that's the sort of thing that would allow that to occur.
So we just gotta throw Senrati in one of like the carnivorous goat pens and see.
I don't think there's. I think the things in the pens are like what we would recognize as humans and similar species. I think those are where the villagers are.
Then
We could send our scout forward, which is what I do.
the one who's great at making
decision.
first contact.
The one who's good at looking at things without being seen.
I mean,
Yeah, but like doesn't. Okay, no, it's fine. I'm probably not coming like back to tell you. I'm just gonna like wait for. It's fine. She's
The best scout. I'm not coming back to tell you.
What time of day is it right now?
Like it should be like mid-morning, but
Okay.
The light makes it seem like late afternoon.
Okay. Weird, but okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna sort of just flutter off, just and then try to sneak away.
Give me stealth.
Have
20.
guidance.
Wow.
21. Now it's old enough to drink.
It's 3 years drunk in Alberta or Quebec.
My God. Madness.
It's how you can find the people from Vermont and Quebec. They're the ones puking on their shoes.
Mm.
An 18, but it's not 21.
It's not.
So you're able to get fairly close. It's almost as close as you like. There are a half dozen of these normal wooden buildings. There's not like windows in any of these buildings, but there's what appears to be some sort of forge. There's some sort of common room or common building where they've got horses tied up. There's a number of these buildings that are, and they also may be across from one of these giant pens. And every so often, a handful of these, a group of, excuse me, how many of this group is? A group of 6 of these black-clad figures go forth, 5 of them carrying these large, massive buckets, and then pour the contents over the edge and march on back down. And it seems to be like every hour or so they wind up doing this. And they go back to one of the farther buildings that's closer to the fortified church to refill.
Okay.
So there's 6 of these giant pens.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna check one of the dumping areas, like right after the dumpers are out of eyesight.
Okay.
And see if I can figure out what is being poured in here. That's gonna be step 1.
Okay.
Would that be perception or?
So I'm not gonna make you roll anything just yet. So you sneak up one of these giant pens, and they are 10 feet of solid wood, and these things are really quite large. Like normal sized buildings would comfortably fit into these pens.
Weird. Okay.
So, and the scaffolding. There's like a ramp that goes up along one side to the scaffolding, kind of near the top. But there's still like a good 5 feet from the base of the scaffolding to the top of the fence. So it's low enough that these tall people can pour the buckets over, but it's going to be kind of a bit of a stretch for you to get up there. Do you want to try to like jump and grab it and hoist yourself up, or are you going to climb, or what's it fly? What's the plan here?
Use the wings.
I have a spear. I'm going to stick the spear towards the top of the fence, and I'm going to stand on it, and that should give me the height that I need to look inside.
Okay. So you're going to stab the wall first, and then you're going to stand on the fence.
Yes.
Or stand on the spear.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to make you roll to stab the fence or stand on it.
Okay. But
like, I kind of want to make. It's not terribly heroic.
No, do it. What's up?
Come on. It's to avoid falling in. Like, it's not heroic, and this doesn't really sound like something you're going to do. So, the fence screams in pain. I like that. You're very good.
It's not a gazebo. It has feelings.
So you stab the fence. You jump up on the spear, and you kind of like peek over the edge, and it's kind of hard to tell what it is at first. It's not super clear, but like you start, because it looks like there's a bunch of stuff down there, right? And like your brain first resolves it as like pigs or like farm animals of some kind at first, and then it's just people.
It's people down there?
Yeah. Or, I mean, they kind of look like people.
Oh. Great. Okay. How far apart are they from each other?
They are all crowded around the base of where you are right now. Kind of like grabbing the stuff that had been poured out of the buckets and shoveling into their mouths.
Okay, and can I make out what it is that they're pouring into their mouths?
Or they're shoveling into their mouths? It's just chunks of stuff, as far as you can tell from this distance. It's like 10 feet away, and there's got to be like 100 or more people in here, all like climbing over each other trying to get this stuff.
Does it smell like meat or anything that I've smelled before? Like, I figure, like, you know, buckets of weird damp vegetation have a different smell than like buckets of meat.
Well, I mean, at the time, you know, you stealthed your way up here, you know, taking your time carefully. You know, you weren't like rushing over. And then you ask yourself, wait, did I just become inured to this smell? What does it really smell like here? And it's the monkey house effect, right? I don't know if you've gone to the zoo and like casually approached a monkey house and like, wait, monkey houses smell like shit, and then you suddenly realize that it's this place stinks. This place stinks of old unwashed bodies and human filth and rot, capital R rot, as well as decay.
Okay. I think at that point, Kaith is going to hop off the spear and like grab it with her hands as she comes down to wrench it out, and like puts it back in her pack. And she is going to head immediately over to Fritz and make the recommendation that we go to the big buildings and we kill everything inside.
Not opposed.
I mean, we need to know what's inside before we can even do that. If there's an overwhelming force in there, I'm not going to get us all killed.
That seems like quitter talk.
Have we invented like the rolling artillery barrage yet?
I mean, theoretically there are wizards in this universe, so get 5 of them, stand in one line, 5 of them stand behind it, and they cast fireball, and the next line steps up and casts fireball, and the next line steps up, and yeah, that seems like a very much of a Knights of the Ash thing to me. So, if you had enough wizards, then yeah, you could totally do that.
With infinite wizards and infinite time, a rolling firestorm can be made. But I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure how much she's okay. You know, she's gonna show up to Fritz and she's gonna say, those big things. It's full of people, maybe people's things, and they're eating meat out of buckets, and it smells like rot and death. And there's hundreds of people in one of them, and there's a lot of them, and whatever is being fed to them is coming from those big buildings and that church thing.
It's their breeding pens, functionally. This is how the rot gets made. This is where they come from. This needs to be purged with righteous fire.
I agree. That thing. We yes.
So yeah, Yorha's callously down with that plan. As sort of weirdly, Zach would like to meta point out that the bird may not be the best judge of whether those people are messed up or not, and maybe we should check them before we go burning them. Yorha's not saying that at all, because you burn it all. You burn it all down.
I mean, the odds that they're not infected by rot when they're being fed by the rot is super slim. And there's
we might be able to save some.
What was
no. I'm guessing protocol for the Ash Knights and this kind of thing is just burn everything, kill everyone.
2 ashes.
Burn everything, kill everyone, and then kill yourself for seeing what you saw.
It's not L5R.
Historically, I'm sure that we have no way of curing the rot, so
I mean, that's a new thing that's recently occurred.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's
I mean, you're also buddy up against like crusade level stuff, right? Like institutionalized rot stuff is in the past, you know, you go back to headquarters and you basically call upon the emperor to send the entire army and purge the area.
Yeah, I think if we're going to do anything here, we need to introduce something into the food supply just to kill everyone.
I mean, do the lobstrosities even eat?
I mean, kill their breeding ground.
Oh.
Cut off their supply of bodies.
Oh.
Yeah. Take out the supply lines. I mean,
use that unrationed event that just nukes a city in pandemic. Gotcha.
Those supply lines
are people.
You given infinite time and the capability to feed all these people while you go about curing them, sure. Maybe one day you could save all these people. But they're not going to last that long, and there's no way that 2, maybe 3 of you could go about curing this. And you just looked in one pen. There's more than one, right?
6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
isn't it worth trying to save one person at least?
Who are you to pick the one person?
Who would send Rothi to save me?
You weren't in a mass pit of hundreds of people.
I was an active rot creature, and he saved me. And these people aren't worth saving, even if they're not that far?
This is academic at best at this point.
Yeah.
If nothing else, there's work that needs doing.
Yeah. We are at best case scenario in burn the village to save it territory, and we need to figure out who's keeping us from burning the village. So let's go do that. and then we can talk about whether or not to kill those mostly people later on.
They're not.
Yeah, I'm all for getting more info.
They're not going anywhere. Which is a problem I would love to solve. But I'm more I think our more immediate concern are the things riding horses that use the spooky magics that I desperately wish to see nullified.
So the Sharkicorns are all tied up at the second building, farthest from you. So they're not currently riding anything.
So I have this spell. I have this spell, and it is called Scorching Ray.
Mm-hmm.
And I can set up to 3 things on fire. And you said there's 6 buildings.
Yeah. No. Back up here now. Go.
Yeah, there are 6 large.
Zach, you're unmuted.
Oh.
There
How
are
am
6
I
large.
unmuted? My mic is off.
No, it's not.
Your mic never
Sorry about
turned-
that.
Your mic lies to you.
Now we
No, it's
cannot
off.
hear you.
It's okay. Yeah.
Sorry, my dog's going downstairs for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know why. I apologize.
That's okay.
Because stairs.
Perfectly fine.
Because dog.
And then I also have that like dual spell thing that I'm gonna need to refresh myself on the rules of. I think it's but yeah, basically I would like to set all 6 of these structures ablaze. Ideally catching as many of the like horrible lobster creatures that I hope don't move too quick inside the building so that they burn as the buildings fall down on them.
I'll shoot
So-
whatever runs away.
So the horrible lobster knights are early. Buildings don't like immediately cave in when they're on fire. They usually burn for a while first.
Sure.
You can absolutely set all 6 on fire.
Yeah. I mean, I don't need to
if the
kill
goal is to
all of
roast them-
everything inside. I just need to, like, it should cause a panic. Hopefully we catch some of them with their metaphorical pants down. Hopefully, like, 1 or 2 don't get out of the building in time. Or, like, pass out from smoke inhalation or whatever. I want these things to die, and I want them to be disoriented when we, like, charge in and start butchering them.
Zach, in the past, Yorha has seen people do something similar, but they peg the doors first in order to properly immolate everything inside. Spike the doors first.
We need a vampire.
Yeah.
Pegging is something else entirely.
Yeah. If we can do that, sure. I mean, how close a proximity is that going to take us to these things before we set them on fire?
If you wanted to, you could sneak direct. You'd have to sneak up directly to the buildings, and then spike the doors shut if you wanted to set them on fire and try to roast everything that was in there.
I'm real good at sneaking.
But just in case, let's send the bird.
Yeah.
Chat's amazing today.
He might come back upstairs.
I'm red now.
You broke
We lost a third of the stream.
webcams.
I didn't break it. I just need to not be red for a minute.
All right, so are you just gonna catch them all buildings on fire, or you do want to try to
No, I like blocking doorways and having a lobster bake.
Yeah, no, let's light them on fire. Let's do this.
Stop, drop, and lobster roll.
I don't think
So-
it's gonna help you not laugh. The redness will return.
That's the one's embarrassment. I'm moving on to another thing. It's fine
Okay.
now. Yes, Adam.
So I'm trying to figure out. So we're burning the church down, or
The
what are we
church-
burning down?
I think
So,
all the non-pen buildings, right?
Yeah,
I mean, these things were
There's
they were all
the-
touching though, yeah.
No,
Oh, I thought something was up against, or the scaffolding was up against some
the scaffolding is
Pens.
up against the pens.
pens.
So you've got 6
okay.
pens with scaffolding. Then you've got 6 normal-sized buildings, sans windows.
Oh, okay.
Everything's made with untreated wood stuff, right? It's just like somebody chopped up a village real quick.
Okay.
So who's sneaking up to these buildings?
Yo.
Yorha's in?
Someone with
I mean-
guidance.
I totally would. Yorha totally would do that. Would totally volunteer for the duty of like running up and staking the stuff. But
Your hair is also expendable.
Can he roll like an can he say he's aiding and like comes with me? So like I cover us for sneak and he covers the spiking?
Sure. I can't see anything that would go wrong there.
Never. Okay.
Okay, Keith, so you're going to be
18.
leading a group action.
I was gonna say D&D's not really set up for this because like I should not be helping you sneak.
It's a 20.
Nice.
Did you roll
Yeah.
twice?
Oh well, he's helping me, right? So that would
Yeah.
be advantage.
I'm aiding by being enormous, loud, and there.
You agreed to it.
But don't you need to be
Lawyered.
trained to aid?
Shit, I don't know. I don't think we've done that yet. have we?
Has that come up yet?
I don't think I've ever actually looked in the player's handbook for rules.
Why would you?
Got to wing
There's
it.
nothing
So
in there.
I mean, Keith can't wing it anymore, so one of us should.
Okay.
Oh,
I love that this is the point where we find out that we've all just been making up 5th edition out of whole cloth this whole time. Just like, oh yeah, this rule and this rule and this rule from like these other 3 editions. These totally make sense here.
yeah, that's kind of what we've been doing though. Sprinkling
That's
some
kind of what they did when they
story
made
games.
the game too.
Oh,
So
cannibalized other systems.
I mean, they very explicitly went like, yeah, D&D's this thing and this thing and this thing out of these other games that are also called D&D. So, yeah, that's what it's always been.
The help action. You creature you 8 gains advantage.
I can't. There's no way I'm the one helping and Keith's the one rolling on the stealth check. There's no way that's how that works. Because you send the halfling rogue
Yeah,
in with
I
the
mean-
giant stompy knight, and the
Once
giant-
again, Keith is riding on your back and telling you where to put your feet to avoid making any noise.
Well, and like,
Don't step there, you
Well, I mean-
giant brute.
So basically, it's me aiding and he has to roll?
no,
No.
no.
Okay.
No.
But I really like the mental image of Yorha is there and just like looking incredibly critically at everything. So Keith is like, well, fuck you. I'm not screwing this up while someone is watching me. And just like is that much more determined to get it perfect.
Most of Kate's successes really come down to Yorha silently judging her at
Maybe-
over some amount of distance.
Just a reminder, like a minute ago, Zach was saying meta, Keith isn't like that, maybe that trustworthy.
Mm-hmm.
Screw
in
y'all, I'm great.
scouting.
I'm great.
I'm your 2B, Keith.
You
All right,
helpless weakling.
Let's take a 5-minute break real quick because we've been playing for an hour to take to bio for everybody. I'm gonna get some
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
stream, because that's super interesting and insightful, and I like that.
Missed what,
Oh.
Michael?
So, Aaron, you were just saying something about you'd like the team up
Okay.
on this to be slightly different.
Yes. So I feel like if you wanted this to, I guess, play more cinematically or something, basically, if you're assisting someone, whoever, like, say I'm helping Zach sneak, he gets advantage from me since I know what the hell I'm doing, but he's got to roll since he's the weak link, and if he screwed it up, then, it would kind of be his fault, basically. But, like, so, like, you are at a disadvantage when you do it, mechanics-wise, but, I mean, if it makes sense for the characters to do it, you should, and it kind of gives you growth opportunities for your characters in the future. Like, if your HUD just comes with Kate a bunch on sneaking missions, it's going to suck at first. It's going to suck a lot, but then, like, maybe next level up, your HUD tweaks a little bit more towards Dex, or like tries to train in stealth or something, and then you've got growth.
Mechanically, this is actually really making me think of Burning Wheel, which has, you open a new skill that's new to you, and you're terrible at it. You have basically all of the obstacles that you have to try to beat are doubled. You can't get any help. You can't use your related skills for additional dice. But after like 5 or 6 probably failed attempts, which have changed the narrative in an interesting direction for you, you have that skill. And then suddenly you can add in other things. You can get help. You can get all this other stuff because you have figured out how stealth works.
You're still probably pretty crap at it, but you're not like
Yeah.
beginner crap at it. Yeah.
The
And I
second
think-
at something is the first step to being not very good at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like the way it's set up now is built around the mindset that failure is the least interesting and worst thing that can happen. Whereas like that's super not the case. Like a plan not going according to plan usually leads to real interesting shit. So I feel like tweaking it would give you better like cinematic crap that could happen and just like character moments and little spotlight sharing and all kinds of stuff. And the way it is now could be better. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, the entire point of the reason Dungeons and Dragons is the way it is, right? Is because the whole concept is you're buying capabilities to then like discharge during the mission, right? And so if Yorhal wants to be sneaky later, I can train stealth and be like marginally less terrible at it. But because I've bought all of these smash capabilities and no sneak capabilities to this point, I'm always going to be not good at sneaking. I can be marginally less not good at sneaking.
Right. You've got a pickup truck right now. It'll never fit into a compact car space.
Yeah, but that is by design that I can never step into that space effectively.
The design is bad. We should go on. No, and I totally agree with both of you. And we should actually do an improbable interview where game design stuff at some point, because that'd be fun too. So there was a thing about fire and sneaking that preempted this whole thing. We turned to page 170, whatever the hell it was, and then I got upset. 175, yeah, and then I got upset. Why is there 175 pages of rules before sneaking, or before sharing the spotlight with another person? So we rolled a die, and you got a 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I got a 20 for stealth.
So the two of you stealthily stomp on up to the first of these doors. Yes, I know. I want that book to play.
It's really good.
Jordan also said that teacher, I don't have a book in chat, so I was going to hand her Burning Wheel as a joke.
Yeah, I wish I had my coloring book and then I could make a thing of it.
They make
Nerds.
awesome
I love y'all.
comic books for like adults to color in with, nice pencils.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had to be careful not to call it an adult coloring book because that's something else.
That's what mine's called.
Yeah, Jordan has one of those.
I have a World of Warcraft one.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Nice.
That is also awesome.
Great, now we're going to get sued by Disney.
Yeah.
I mean, we Space Wizards play by Disney.
Yeah,
It's because no one listened to Space Wizards.
we played Star Wars. We said Star Wars, and then we made Mickey the bad guy.
That's right. Ooh,
Spoiler
okay.
alert, by the way. everyone.
Whoa, come on.
That's my
don't
next
don't
tattoo.
don't spoil that. That's gonna be really.
Yep. I'm getting on my calf on the other side of the like other calf, so it's right next to my water.
I thought for sure your leg was just gonna pop up like next to your head when you did that. We were talking. Damn, why are we so sidetracked?
I'm sorry, I mentioned coloring books.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Coloring books are at.
We're so sidetracked because someone mentioned a child's toy.
I'm sorry.
And we just went off.
I just want to point out that this is literally how D&D is also like played normally. So
Yeah.
Hang out for 4 hours, get like 15 minutes of progress. Like this is
so there's sneaking, there's door spiking, blocking.
level 5.
Are we? I
we
thought we
level
were still
five?
level 4.
Yeah, I'm still
Oh.
level 4.
I thought somebody said level 5 because at level 5 I get an extra attack, and that's gonna be stupid.
Yeah, it's gonna be baller,
Yeah.
right?
That's horrifying.
I
I'm
also
looking forward to
got one.
smashing some stuff real good. Real good smash.
So that means I get to fire 3 arrows. One of them can explode, and then if I yes, continue.
No, we're going pacifist on level 5. Sorry.
Oh god, I just get an extra verbal attack.
Level 5 killing brings heat.
There you go. +2 heat to the crew. And I'm gonna Sunrathi's gonna major in Centaurius debate. That's a skill in Burning Wheel. That is a literal named skill in Burning
So
Wheel.
is Cage Wise.
Yep. And Raticate, which is the etiquette for talking to rats.
No, I know. I'm just pointing out that literally everything is a skill in Burning Wheel.
Yes,
Can we just
true.
burn something else?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we can. I'm sorry. So, Yorha and Keith, the two of you, stealthily sneak up to one of these doors. And Yorha, are you going to stealthily, spike the door shut? Like, what's the plan for keeping the doors closed?
Here's my plan for keeping the doors closed, and Keith can correct me here. So we're going, and like I'm doing like the full on like Hanna-Barbera like tiptoe sneak up to the doors, right? And then I'm going to hold the door shut while Keith puts strategically placed arrows around the edges.
Mm. Okay.
Do you have a muffler for your bow? Because like this sounds like seems like it's gonna be loud.
That's fine. I'll hold the door shut. Right? Like it's going to make noise when Kay starts putting arrows in this thing. I'm there to hold the door shut so she can finish.
There's 6.
Don't you have 5 more buildings to go after this, though?
Oh, shit! All right. There's 6 buildings.
Yes.
Perhaps Vashla and I should be in a different group doing it to the other 3 houses.
Well,
Doors.
okay. So, are there their door? What does the door open up onto? Like, is it grass? Is it dirt?
Does
Yeah,
it open
grass.
outwards?
Um.
Because I mean, if not, then we're fucked anyway.
Yeah, if not, this is pointless.
We'll say this one opens outwards.
All right. Yeah, then I will just do my best to quietly drive something as far, like some spear or stake into the ground as far as I can with like a grunt instead of smashing noises.
Okay.
And hope that keeps the door shut a little while for them to burn.
Do you have a spear?
I don't believe I have a spear. I
hand you a spear.
Okay, awesome. I will use the spear. I will use the spear to stab the ground. I'm stabbing the earth.
Can you stealthily do that thing? Because if so, I have a plan for the other 2 buildings that we have to cover.
Okay. Probably. That's really up to Mike how much noise I make, I think.
Might be up to your roll.
I feel like this is a desperate roll.
You give me a stealth roll for stabbing the ground quietly.
Oh god, a stealth roll?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey, the ground can't scream though, so you should get advantage.
Great. I'm awesome at this.
Holy shit!
Oh,
I ain't
You're
bad.
learning.
I ain't bad.
Yeah, that's good.
Actually, I've got a +1 stealth, actually, because my dex is okay.
All right, so you stab the ground as quietly as you can. Reasonably quietly. I'm going to roll a d20.
Oh, great.
No,
17.
don't do that. Don't roll things.
That was good. That was fine.
They're too busy bucket chucking.
And you can hear clanging sounds on the other side of the door.
Okay. Okay.
Probably fine. Okay.
Do you move on to the next one?
Yeah. So I think Keith is gonna pull your head aside, and then I'm gonna reach in my pack and hand you 2 hand axes, and I'm gonna tell you to stick those in the door, and I'm gonna go to the other one and then shoot arrows into it.
Okay.
Keith.
Hmm.
Do you want to spend the spell slot to use the like Rain of Thorns and just like coat the door, like just like trace an outline of it, and it's just all wedged to shit?
That's kind of what I was thinking. And then, hey, does like, never mind, it's stupid. Ignore it.
No.
Okay, so I get an extra shot per turn. Does like do the hinges or the door frame itself? Does that count as a different entity than the door? Can I shoot one and then the other?
Hinges?
No, not the hinges. That's a bad idea. Or they wouldn't fall inward.
In my head, I'm waiting for you to like Rain of Thorns this door off its hinges and back into the building, and then just have a horde of people pour out. So
Yeah, I guess that's a bad idea. Fine. Look, we're learning. We're doing better. Here's some hand axes, friend. Who I think last episode advocated for like probably killing me if needed.
We're learning. Please have these bladed weapons of my destruction.
I'm gonna turn my back on you now.
I do love that you just handed me hand axes. Now the only thing in my head is like how you clean a chicken.
You have a spear and 2 hand axes. That sounds like a rotisserie setup if I ever heard of one.
I was gonna say like surely Keith is probably closer to like quail or pheasant though.
There's also a bunch of fire coming. All we really need is some kind of... Have we been marinating you? Is that a thing?
Fritz has some special wine just for that purpose.
Yeah, it's just like the bag of holding is just like the whatever it is, like 50 cubic feet of marinade.
Imagine.
All right,
Marinated
Keith.
goblins.
Just like no, it's like all right, Keith, get into your bathtub so we can like seal you in for the night.
Yeah, so like Keith, we've been telling Keith that it's a rot treatment, right? And every night we like seal Keith up in a Ziploc bag that's full of some spices.
Of 7 herbs and spices. Okay.
Just waiting for this day.
All right. Are you gonna roll to spike the next door? I keep trying to say peg.
Sure, I'm doing that. I can do that. Is it stealth again?
Yeah.
Nailed it.
It's not impossible that I roll a 1, 2, or 3.
23 for my stealth roll. Somehow with arrows into a door.
Okay.
I'm fine with them exploding out the door that I am next
Well,
to.
I mean, it's only more that they're alarmed that there's a sudden bang at the door, not that they can get out.
Right.
Hey, I mean, just barely, Mike. Just, I think like one of them's looking out the window at him as he does this.
There are definitely
Are there
windows.
are there windows?
No.
Fuck. Okay, I was about to say, fuck, that's a real good question we didn't ask.
No, I explicitly said that there were no windows multiple times.
Oh, okay.
Good.
That implies we listen to you at all times.
Yep, I just
Well,
like
I
Yogi
mean-
Bared up to the door when there's like 2 rot knights watching.
No, you walk up to the door and you start spiking it before you realize that it's a person.
Look at the boots. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So there's a grunting and some sort of growling on the other side of the door. But you don't speak dark speech, do you?
Nope. Did I manage to actually pin the door shut?
Well, you're about to find out.
Okay.
You hear heavy
is the-
bootsteps heading towards you.
Sorry. Is the fire coming from off-site, or are we providing that as well? Okay.
Do you have a sign to that you want to give for set the buildings on fire now?
I imagine there's a signal that Senrothi honestly isn't expecting to hear because, like, it's when shit goes down, start fire.
Yeah, like Yorha's about to go Super Saiyan,
and
right?
it's as many buildings as they manage to spike get set on fire.
or like all of them,
Well,
and
yeah.
we just only get
It's-
the kills. In the
Yes,
war,
it's
right?
all of them get set on fire. You're right. It's all of them get set on fire, and then however many are actually successfully spiked get dealt with.
Do we also want to do the other, where
Yeah,
Vashla and I do the other 3 buildings at the same time, so that we actually could theoretically
Do you have a bolt gun?
accomplish it?
Just
Yeah,
rivet
yeah.
gun, the door's shut.
That's actually a cool idea. Probably Fritz could probably work something out for that.
Flashback.
That's right. Spend 2 strain to flashback to having that item.
Ah, because strain is again different system.
Soon all will be one
it's a better system.
after the convergence.
Strain is a better system than Blades because I will like not fly to New York, but I would fight you and get my clock clean because you're like
Oh no,
Stupid.
stress.
yeah.
Stress. Okay, never mind. They're the same word, basically, right?
They are basically the same word,
But they're spelled different.
but one of them is from Genesis, the other one is from Blades of the
Well,
Dark.
well, yeah, and like they
It's
have the
funny.
same root word as well. It's not like I'm completely off base here. I'm sorry, my brain is burnt.
Something Germanic, probably.
Drugs.
I'm guessing.
Can you roll a stealth? Either the 2 of you or one of you. Definitely Vashla, not Vashla. Wait, I do mean Vashla. Vashla and Fritz.
I was about to say, don't let Yorha do it.
Yeah.
I have a 0 modifier if you
So-
want assistance from me.
Yeah, does that mean that's just advantage? It doesn't. There's no special.
Yeah, it's just advantage if they say they're helping. 'Cause-
Okay.
That doesn't even make sense.
16.
Do you wait?
What?
Nothing. That makes
The-
perfect sense.
Okay.
9.
Following my captain's orders.
Yes. And you're assisting him, right?
Yeah.
The 2 of you are quieter together than either of you are apart.
Yeah.
I honestly
Um,
really like the Blades in the Dark explanation, which is the leader is like covering for other people's mistakes.
Yeah. No, and that it's
Aaron?
employees of eternity. It works like that too.
Is there a cat freaking out behind you?
Yeah. Aaron is
Probably.
Sakura.
Yeah, Cora's tail is just flashing around.
Yeah, just
She
run your
counts.
shoulder.
Like right over your shoulder.
Wait, for me?
Yeah. Just like Cora.
She's laying on the floor.
I know.
No,
No.
no. Let's go to the videotape.
Yeah, see? She's playing.
And this is where the edit comes in. That's like got Cora like on her hind legs and then smashing into the
Like
ground.
talking, like walking.
She found a twisty tie, and it is her best friend in the world, apparently.
I love
I
getting
have one of
children
those on my
twisty
desk that I
ties.
play with constantly. Actually, I have several twisty ties on my desk. Okay, so we're all just
We're all cats. Everyone
we're
here
all
is
just split apart.
I have a collection I just keep around
Wow.
for a token to kick around.
nice. Look at her go.
Maybe having a cat wouldn't be awful.
And the podcast has divulged to us watching a cat.
Welcome
Right.
to that Cats and Cacophony podcast. My name is Andrew
D&D
Otway.
cat.
Uh-oh.
Podcats.
Yes.
Podcats.
Oh.
All right, so we are at.
Whoa! My God! My God! Okay, there. It's
All right, that first door. Totally. Fritz, how did you seal the door? Or that was just getting the door. Or was that to close the door? Either way, we'll go for the closing door.
Okay.
Does Fritz have a nail gun?
No, I imagine I have like some sort of pneumatic contraption that you place in front of the doorway, and then you trigger them all at once, and they just sort of slam like some pistons towards the doors and lock them shut.
So is it loud?
Nice.
After you activate them, sure.
Yeah, when it happens.
It's like remotely.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
deploy like 3 of them at the same time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then remotely activate them. So by
Alright.
the time they do react, it's too late.
So you can do 2 of them at the same time, right? But you can't do that third, right?
What if I did the third?
Yeah, Vashla would be. It's kind of like how Yorha and Kate did it, where we set up the first one, and then we both split off and do the last 2
Okay.
separate.
I like
Give me
the
a couple
idea
more
of
stealthies.
Vashla like holding the last door by just like putting her shield down in front of it and leaning into it slightly.
Mm-hmm.
But literally holding the door shut. Just
Yeah.
okay. More stealth, please.
Oh god, I have to do it individually now.
Yeah, both of you do.
Ah, shit. What? Okay.
Nailed it.
Oh, one.
Oh no!
It's the same thing with Yorha and myself. We just do
Oofa.
so.
Oofa.
What?
So ironically, I rolled
That's-
below Fritz's.
Wow.
Oh yeah, you did. Nice.
Oh, geez,
That
that
really
is
ironic.
brutal.
Yeah.
That's rough.
This is horseshit.
That's
Okay.
rough.
So, but it's Vashla and Yorha's doors that are heard, which is
That seems fine.
yeah, it seems fortuitous. if
Yeah.
anything.
That's kind of best case, really.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay.
It's
So-
not the natural play.
Vashla, on the other side of the door, you hear the guttural, grunting-ish sounds of deep speech from somewhere else. The guttural, the clicks and the buzzes and the du hast mich German of deep speech.
I was just
Exactly, there you
picturing the dude
Uh,
from Clone Wars, the guy in charge of the arena.
Yes.
I forgot
Clone
his
Wars?
name. forgot his
Attack of the
name.
Clones, I think.
Yeah.
So this is where my brain went immediately was Clone High, and I was like, what fucking clone talked in German on that show?
So, and you hear the similar heavy boots that Yorha is hearing from across the field, stomping towards your door to figure out what's going on. We have Sinrathi taking a double action to cast fire twice now, I believe.
It's one action.
Okay.
I'm using dual spell or some bullshit, which costs the spell level in sorcery points. And then yeah, basically, yep.
I don't know if I remember reading that. Not to like read on your parade, but I recall reading some dual spell thing where it can't be a multi-targeted spell.
Oh fuck, you might be very right.
Oh, I thought you just said, "Oh fuck you." I thought that's where this
Yeah.
was gonna end.
No, you're probably absolutely right. So it will be two actions, which sucks. Unless I can quick cast, please hold as I engage in Dungeons and Dragons by reading this player's handbook.
This is like 90% of the game for our audience at home.
Poggle the Lesser. Wow.
It's not this page that I've bookmarked. Let's see if it's this other page that I've bookmarked. It is.
What's the move called, or the thing?
Okay, so I'm going to use one action to cast it once. I'm going to spend 2 sorcery points for Quicken Spell, which lets me cast a spell as a bonus action. So functionally what I said, but slightly mechanically different.
Yeah, it is not actually more expensive either, is it?
Nope.
It's weird.
Yeah. It's a distinction without a difference. So that's what I do. I set 6 structures on fire in the span of 6 seconds.
Awesome. All right. Do you need a roll for that, or are they just?
I
That's the
can
fire being set.
I can make 6 attack rolls against structures.
That sounds horrible. Dice roll. No. This turn order. Yay. Okay. Okay. Cool. Kitty. So yeah, you set 6 buildings on fire, and you hear
I'm 120 feet away. I should also mention.
I'm at maximum triangulated possible distance
Yeah.
from all of this shit.
My initiative is very good.
Oh shit, I should be doing that. Huh?
hold on to that initiative. I think.
I had it update the tracker with it, so
Oh, nice.
I guess it's just there.
I'm so
you-
fast.
If you click your token and then click the initiative button in your on your character sheet, it automatically updates the token for you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm saying hold on because I think that combat is boring here, and I think it's more interesting if you burn them all in the houses.
Okay.
If they break out, like I will super just shoot them in the face. Like I think we
Yeah.
are adequately prepared to, like, if they come out one at a time, they're just gonna get got.
Yeah, I think instead of combat, you guys just spent like 40 minutes like setting this up. This is awesome. This is like a combat encounter, right? And as they like the buildings burn, right, and some of them don't die immediately. There are.
Can I pitch a scene?
Yeah.
Has anyone seen Lucky Number 11?
Yes.
You know the bit when the two guys come through the wall?
Vaguely, it's been a while.
Okay, so two guys come like bursting through a wall at one point, and there's just a guy waiting there with two guns and just like shoots the fuck out of them. That's what I imagine like at least 3 of the 4 of you do to like someone like one of them like comes through a door, like we get that scene and like Yorha's just there and like bisects the fucker. Another person like clangs against Voshla's shield and like Fritz lines up the shot and like mail slots him in the dome. And then like one guy comes crashing through a wall and Kaith just like turns and puts 9 arrows in their face.
I like it.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah, I like that. There's yeah, that's nice and interesting, and I like that. We should encourage more scenes like that in these games. So yeah, that pays off. Like, I am now truly entranced by the cat. Sorry, Rod. Yes. Yeah. So you successfully clear out these 6 buildings. So they are now burning. And thick black smoke goes to the sky. Sinrathi, did you move forward to investigate?
I mean, I imagine like I think because like we are a military organelle, like there's a clear that goes out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like as each of the 6 structures is actually like fully cleared, and then like the last one, like the last clear comes in, and then Sinrathi's like, oh cool, I won't get horribly murdered. But has been like slowly pacing forward to be within support range.
Gotcha. Okay. So Keith is not magical, but has the nature.
Wow,
stuff,
rude.
No, you can cast arcane spells, but we decided that you're not magical. You do it as a natural thing.
It's bird shit. Yeah. Not,
Right.
It's not bird shit.
Just an egg
With a spell in
now.
it.
That is some Jeek Woods magic there.
She grunts, there's an egg, you throw it, a spell happens.
That's
Everyone's
totally
grossed out.
Aaron, do you
No,
know
that's
where
like a-
eggs come from?
Yeah, I know it's not bird shit. I changed it, Andrew.
But that's an amazing character class. Just as an aside, the character that craps out magic and throws it.
I've shit better magic than that, just like is true.
It's gonna be like Yoshi or something then.
Mm-hmm.
And Adam is our casts arcane, but it does it technologically, so it's not arcane.
Effectively, yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, it's important. It's important.
Yeah, no.
But Vashla and Sinrathi are not. You both are actually magical bits.
Yes.
Okay. So the two of you, as you pursue or as you proceed through this pop-up town, start feeling not great. There's a general malaise that kind of puts a damper on Sinrathi, you feeling particularly close to God, and the two of you do not. Yeah, you start feeling sick.
Yeah, I look around and probably catch like nausea on only Vashla's face, and just like there's the up nod.
Yeah.
What's an up nod?
Not much. What's up, Nod, with you? We will not leave each other hanging.
Also, I want to point out that you saluted General Malaise.
I did.
All right.
This is who we are.
Yeah, no, it's totally wrong. So we have those 6 buildings are down. The contents of those buildings, the Lobstrosity Knights inside of them, were destroyed. And now the 2/5 of you are not feeling great, and you've got these 6 giant holding pens. What do you do?
I mean, the church seemed to be involved in some fashion.
Yes, there's a fortified church, not super far away from you are now. It's within sight, but it's like a mile away.
Oh,
Before we head at that direction, does the fire from we just set in the buildings look like it might spread to the pens, or are they far enough physically separated it's not a
No, they're like a good 50 feet from these buildings.
Okay, I mean that's
and
probably
and
good.
the road goes between them. It's like this very deliberate setup.
Okay, because I would hate to like accidentally lose a horde of zombies on the world here.
They were prepared for us to burn them.
Just as a person who lives like vaguely within a forest fiery zone, that's not enough of a remove to prevent fire spreading that far.
Well, it depends on how hard the fire burns,
sure.
I guess.
Yes.
And I don't know how big these buildings were, how long they heat, or
big, right?
But 50 feet is trivial.
Okay, we'll go to 50 yards.
Okay.
So
because 50 feet is like 15 yards. Like it's a first down and a half. It's not that far.
Right. Because I think everything is American football distances.
Mm-hmm. For me, it is. Yeah, absolutely in my head.
Yeah. Anything more than 120 yards might as well be infinite.
Just goes on forever.
Yeah. That was a nice little left turn. Was that actually left in your screen? Because it's right on my screen. Okay, cool. Wow, we are totally sidetracked again. So yeah, pretend they're far enough apart to not immediately catch fire.
So mission accomplished. We've saved everyone.
I mean, how thick is the rot here? Like, if I go take the temperature of one of these pens.
I also want to ask: is there any activity coming from this church with the fire billowing very brightly?
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some. You don't see anything just yet.
Okay, because I think the pens can wait, because I'm assuming we need to deal with whatever's going to come out of this church.
Yeah, we just made 6 giant columns of smoke from an
fire,
area that they are probably fairly attached to. They're probably sending everybody, all the people.
So Andrew has a tactics thing that Sinrathi probably wouldn't think of, but we should probably try to fight amongst the houses, because fire is bad for rot. And we can fight best with smaller numbers, where we can hold
funnel
2 of the alleys, and exactly. Numbers won't be on our side.
The other option is we just go take the frickin' church.
That's Sinrathi's opinion, is we go fucking take that church back and I purify it.
With the assumption that there's something being protected in this church, I would like to try to circle around, basically avoid the direct line from church to village, and sort of try to come out at it from a different angle and see if we can assault the church if they vacate, to find out what's happening in the town.
Yes, Andrew.
I just that's a great idea. I love the idea that we set these fires, we murdered a bunch of people, and they're also a distraction. That's 8 birds with 1 stone, and I love that value.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, you definitely see a couple columns of armored horsebacked figures heading towards you.
God damn it.
So are you going to bug out, or are you going to dig in here?
What detail do my bird eyes see?
These are the black lobsterosities running shark unicorns.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So it's Tuesday then.
Thursday.
That too. For week. I feel. Do we want to stand our ground? I mean, we don't let them take this place back over, though, right?
What do they have to hold?
Right now, I'm hoping that there's. Yeah, right now I'm hoping there's some sort of portal in here that we can shut down and cut them off from the rear. And if we can assault the church, we're in a much more defensible area if they try to come back.
Yeah. And the church is their only obvious remaining seat of strength right here. So if we can take that from them and gain any sort of advantage by it, then that just puts us in a better position. Yeah. I'm in. Let's do this.
Yorha, what's your speed?
40, I want to say. So this is 30.
Okay.
I know I have class bonuses. I don't know when they kick in. Hold on.
I mean, we don't want to fight these people on an even playing field. I
Right.
see no reason to afford them that luxury or honor or anything. They're coming here. We should be elsewhere. Take the church out from under them, murder whatever token skeleton crew, possibly literally, they left behind, and then we have a highly defensible position.
Assuming there's not a gate they're going to be walking like rot giants in behind us from.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then we just make sure the enemy's gate is down.
You bastard.
All right, so it sounds like you all have agreed to try to circumvent the oncoming columns of enemy forces and circle around behind them to get to the fortified church.
Yeah. I could, if we want to do the bag of holding thing again, someone with a high speed could have their speed doubled effectively and carry us all as really fast to the church, faster than these mounted troops could probably even notice or see or react.
Can you temporarily enchant like the retreat spell on Longstrider's retreat? Is that right?
Expeditious retreat.
Oh,
yeah, I could.
Yeah.
Basically, I would just
Enchant that.
slam.
Give that to Yorha, and then he carries the bag.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to find out, because I assumed Yorha would probably have the highest base speed, just because.
He's not wearing any armor.
Because, yeah, I think I'm still 30. I think at level 5 I get 40. I get to 40 speed.
Well, how many people do we kill in those buildings, and does that get us to level 5?
Burn some anthills.
Yeah.
Okay, so I go sit in a boat and murder whales with a wand of paralysis for a week.
No, we're reflecting on leveling up by staring at the fire. Like, legit.
Fire's totally hot. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you could give it to Yorha, or you can give it to Keith, or whomever you want.
Yeah, I think minor potential problem. I'm not sure Yorha has shoes.
I don't think you need shoes for this.
Okay, so you're not like enchanting footwear. You're just like casting expedition.
I mean, for mechanical purposes, it's a spell you cast on someone, yes. But I think for Fritz's purpose, I strap these jump jets to your belt, and you have rocket propelled movement for 10 minutes, or whatever it is.
I'm into that. That sounds great. Let's do that.
Space Marine.
I'm just picturing, does he hit his face like on the dirt at some point while he's traveling over there?
Yeah, absolutely. Like it takes a while to get the hang of this thing, because if they're like if it's like a rocket belt, right? I'm basically using the lift to get longer strides, right? But I have to like aim myself in a very specific direction, and it doesn't always work.
Roll to resist getting concussion.
And you're moving 90 feet per round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what, like 6-7 seconds? So 90 feet per 7 seconds.
Yeah, that's
I mean, that's only 4.5 meters per second.
That seems fast.
Yeah, it's fast.
If you make it like 6 seconds, it's like 900 feet. No, hold on. I'm blanking today. Never mind.
90 feet per second is 4.5 meters per second.
That's 16.2 kilometers per second, so about 10 mile. Or sorry, you're moving at about 10 miles an hour, which doesn't actually seem that fast.
No.
Are you sure about that?
Probably not like
4.5 meters per second.
Well, okay. If you double a human's running speed, like
Yeah, I imagine
Like,
Yora can pull off like a 5-minute mile, if not
yeah,
4.
Yora's not like top tier like cross country or sprinter here, right? Like,
Mike, it may turn out that the maths in Dungeons and Dragons don't actually correlate to reality.
No, like, come on. This is the whole thing. That's what Dungeons and Dragons is supposed to be really good at, right?
No, so I mean, a dragon has a fly speed of like 60 feet in 6 seconds. That's not fast enough to maintain.
okay.
Like,
I mean, also you're technically not doubling your speed.
Well, let's talk. Yeah, we're just doubling.
let's
a
get to
human
the
run.
church and murder some folk.
But I would just like to point out 2 things right now about D&D and being good at this. Right, back in the olden days, rounds were a minute long, and you could move like 20 feet during that minute. Right, and inside you could move a third as far as you could outside, because outside was in yards and inside was in feet, because it made it easier to map.
Okay.
This is Dungeons and Dragons, Mike.
I also remember that you had sprint speeds of X4
Yes.
and X5,
Yes.
unless you were in heavy armor, in which case it was only X3.
Mm-hmm. That's actually like, yeah. Is that 2nd edition or is that 3rd edition? 3rd, yeah.
So you go right, they go left. Short answer: rocket boots, expedition retreat. You go incredibly fast. Presumably, they don't see you streaking away from the scene, or they just want to check out what's going on with the burning fire first.
I mean, it's a big fire. It's a real big fire, and I'm one person with a sack.
Roll
Maybe
me
they
a
just
d20,
assume-
not to succeed, but to not have negative consequences.
So what you're looking for is roll a red die and hope it doesn't come up to spare.
Well, I wanted like a 2d6 plus 2 where the failure wasn't you fail, but like you take damage in the outcome, right?
That's a 19 on a 20.
I know, it was really good.
We get there
but-
with bells on.
Yeah,
Fritz has had time to put bells on all of us.
it's a 10 plus. You get there with an advantage.
It just so happens that Yor has used rocket propelled boosters in the past. You
That's
just
so
right.
cool.
Just-
Yeah,
just
Genetic
remember-
memory.
Well, no,
You
it's,
take plus 2 going forward.
your husband fired out of a catapult before, and so has applicable like
Well,
speed experience.
yeah, go for it. Go for it. Me and the dragon wife used to do this thing where I would basically like windsurf behind her, right?
Danger. Okay.
And then we'd fuck.
Okay.
Alright,
Yeah.
we'll
Do I
take-
see anybody as I approach with the bag and the rocket belt?
Since you're moving FTL, you don't actually like. You're basically blind because you're
God.
moving faster than all the light, like all the
How-
ambient light.
How will I stop though if I cannot meaningfully interact with the entrance to the envelope? And if we're all spaghettified, are the tubes for the goblins still long enough?
What?
They're
This is
longer
very
now.
important.
What happened? What is?
Yes, but the relativistic physics of a bag of holding are amazing to
Yeah.
contemplate.
Yep.
I'm like, so are they? Is the outside of the bag actually bigger than the inside of the bag now? Like, is that a thing?
My brain does not no.
This is the most D&D we've ever done on stream. I just want that to
But
be
yeah,
clear.
we're D&D'ing real hard.
So what if you get a bag of holding and you flip it inside out and put it on your head and then go faster than light? What happens?
God cries and the DM leaves.
That's why the
Inside
bag's
out.
on your head. So God can't see you.
And now we've come full circle. I hope you turned into every episode of our sessions, and because now you understand what we mean by
I'm sorry,
our
I was
first
already
blade
thinking.
campaign where Belle would eat.
It was Ortolan, right?
Yeah, I was
the
thinking
thing?
about it ever since we talked about cooking the bird earlier.
I feel like we need to front load the weird shit that we get into at the end of the episode. Because the only people seeing this are people that made it like 3 hours in, right? Or 2 hours in.
Jason's in chat and he just said, "What the fuck, Aaron? Why would you say that?" That's like half of this campaign.
Why would we do this to them?
Is it just blue dragons that have a lower takeoff speed than being carrier born?
Okay, so relative to from your frame of reference, you flip the bag of holding inside out.
Sorry,
From
Zach.
everyone else's reference,
Sorry, Zach. Just is this us stretching while Adam returns?
Yeah,
maybe.
Okay.
yeah.
well,
From everyone else's frame of reference, you just got in the bag of holding, right? That's how infinite spaces work. Wow.
It's deep.
It's about 50 foot deep and about 50 foot wide and about 50 foot tall.
Wink.
If you know what I mean.
It's not a box of holding.
I haven't had anything to drink, which is somewhat surprising.
Unfortunate was the word I was going to use.
yeah.
Why can't I? Oh, that's why.
All right, so yeah, I show up at this place with my bag full of teammates and building equipment and goblins. What is?
All right. So, the short answer of what is you come upon what looks like a short castle, short, low. It's not, like I said, it's more of a large fortified stone church than it is of a castle. It doesn't have like an outer bailey wall or anything of the sort. It is meticulously decorated on the outside. It is cast in the style of a Empire church, Ashen Order church. So what you've got is you've got a lot of these stained glass windows on the outside. You know, it's your, when you think of high fantasy European church, start there, go more German with it, and then add all the iconography that we've used in this campaign. So they've typically these churches have stained glass windows with the saints with a hand which one is with lightning when the other hand is with fire, right? And they've got like the revolvers, the big sandalwood revolvers that Ash carried, but this church does not have those. Those windows have been smashed specifically, like the faces have been removed from the stained glass, and there's like wood that's been boarded up, the areas where they've been smashed. And both Sinrathi and Yorha, as you tumble out of the bag, Vashla, as you two tumble out of the bag, is Yorha upends the bag and you all come out.
Oh, I was going to say, you don't really need to upend the bag this time. You could just take us out one at a time.
As Yorha carefully takes you out one at a time, which is a disturbing mental image. You reach in, it's like Ace Ventura.
I mean, I've had so many questions about how the bag of holding actually works, but
okay.
There's a ladder built into the side, and like we all get close to the mouth so Yorha can pull us out.
You have a bathtub, and it's perfectly black, pitch black. It's onyx. And inside the bathtub, you've got perfectly fine white grains, sand, like sugar almost. And you drill a hole in the bathtub, and all the sand comes out, and you see this wonderful vortex. Only you play it backwards.
I'm not sure what that was supposed to explain.
It's just a wonderful way to relax.
So I get
Take
pulled out of the
galaxy.
bag of holding.
What's that?
Is that what happens? Like, so we're getting thrown out, or
You're getting removed, and I believe the way that it happens is Yorha sticks his normal size hand inside of the normal size bag of holding, and it comes into this larger on the inside space, and picks you up larger, like proportionally larger, as you are proportionally smaller, and then as you are drawn from the bag, you return to normal size.
Cool.
Try not to think about it too hard. We're out of the bag. It's out of the bag now.
Yeah. Cats. Not
Cats,
in the bag.
birds, dwarves, everything's out of the bag.
Yeah.
So D&D, or sorry, Looper does for time travel what D&D does for the bag of holding. Don't think about it too hard. You'll just get a fucking headache.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
And Vashla and Sinrathi, as you leave the bag of holding and are deposited in front of this church, I'm going to need Constitution saves from you two.
Please don't throw up on me. I've had that happen enough today. So
Totally fine. Bow.
that's a solid roll.
Lunge.
Okay.
Can I have given myself guidance before?
Of course.
Okay.
Don't puke. Oh, okay.
Please, God, don't let me.
15.
Okay. You
Breathe
make
through
it.
your nose. Right.
So that way, when
smile
you
and
vomit, you
down
don't
up.
have the obstructed airway. That's clever.
So, it is a narrow thing. So, Vashla, like you probably, Sinrathi looks like they are in pain. Sinrathi, you don't hurl, but I imagine that you're doubled over with nausea. Being close to this building is where before it was just I am uncomfortable. It is physically painful.
I mean, I know I'm in the right place. This is just proof that I need to be here, and something here needs to be rooted out and destroyed. So let's do that before I pass out from pain.
For everyone, there is a sound that feels more like something not quite that you can hear, but it is something that you would receive through your ears. So it's like a pain. It's like a deep bass, a pitch too low to hear or too high to hear. You feel pressure emanating from this building.
Cool. I want to.
Does it only appear to be one way in?
There are two ways in. So do you see?
Oh, yes, I see now.
Yeah, so you should. There should be fairly this building, right?
Okay.
It's a big stone structure. It's not as small as some churches. Yep. And there are two ways in. There is a side entrance just to the north of where I put y'all, and there is a main entrance just to the west of where you currently are.
I don't know what to do.
Would Yorha have stopped short of a door?
You all are where you are want to.
I mean, Yorha's pretty direct when when he smashes into things. So if not given specific orders, like we've talked about how there were like tactics for deployment from bags of holding, right? Back in the day. And that's basically blitzkrieg, right? You smash through the door, you hurl your combatants at the enemy, and then you see how it shakes out at that point.
All right. So where?
I'm gonna go by the side entrance.
Okay.
Because it's my job to be contrary to everybody else.
Yeah, let's split the party. That's great.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm doing fine. Also, I mean, I can probably take care of myself reasonably well. I've done so far.
You said
Entirely
there were
unaided.
windows? Mike, you
Yes.
said there was windows. Could we
So-
see through any of them?
They're mostly like lead and glass, like stained sort of thing. So it's not like you can see particularly well. There are each one of these gray outcroppings that you see along the wall are also sort of like opening vents sort of things. They're too thin, like arrow slit sort of things. They're big enough to fire a bow through, not big enough to squeeze through. And like this, you can see a little bit into the southeastern turret. It looks like an armory. And Keith, the room that you're next to, there are like normal windows here, but they are shuttered, and you can't see through shutters
Yet.
unless you have an ability of which I am unaware.
I can make one up if you want.
Yeah, sure. Roll 1d 2d6 plus shudder.
To become Predator.
Basically. Man, I do have to turn some of these eyes into like infrared or something at some point.
You gotta
Okay.
do clicks though.
So this is what I want to try to do, and we'll see how well it works, and if we all die. I want Yorha and myself to go in through the front and make a commotion. I want the other three of you to go in through the side door and try to flank, and see if we can just wipe out whatever's inside.
Wouldn't it be better if I got their attention versus Yorha?
I don't know if I can stop Yorha from getting their attention though. And I'd rather I have no idea what's in the side, and you're gonna have. I don't know if you'd want to separate from Sinrathi.
No, I guess not.
So I did think a little bit.
Yeah. Yorha can't. It's more like discussion. I'm more likely to be quiet.
I really like the description of a barbarian as being a combat diva. Like, that's very apt. That is very, very apt.
Barbarian uses tantrum.
Pretty much.
And then, like, the rage ends and they'll be in their trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Ow.
The rage turns into sulking.
In 3? I don't think it was in 4, but in 3, definitely. After rage wore off, you actually had, like, penalties to your stats because you were tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. -5, things like that. All right, so Adam, your plan is to burst in through the front door with you and Yorha. Who are you? Sorry, have you positioned yourselves on the map as appropriately?
No.
Please do so.
Kick. Oh, good. All my stats adjusted. Finally.
So yeah, I guess the front door plan is to make as much noise, do as much damage, and then possibly retreat to the side door if we can't handle what's in front of us. And the
One
side
other
door's
thing.
job is to sort of dive into the building as far as I can and try to find any kind of vulnerability.
After
That the Rom
pulling
might have.
everyone else out, Yorha reaches in the bag of holding for all the pots and pans.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to grab a image real quick because I couldn't find one that I liked. All right, that is done.
Also, I don't know if you can, Yorha, but maybe not using the thing that always grants disadvantage to you, everyone attacking you, or to
Okay.
yourself. Might be a good idea if we're outnumbered.
I mean, I have an AC 14. Like, basically everything.
So
anyway. Like, I'm also going to be taking half damage from everything. Is how I stay alive.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Also, by killing things before they can kill me is a solid plan as far as that goes. I understand your concern. It's been noted. We can
We'll see.
we can take this up in like the quarterly staff review thing process.
Your yearly evaluation.
Yeah.
We don't do weekly one-on-ones?
Seems pretty time consuming.
I imagine Yorha is way into scrum management. Boom! Got there!
Hate, hate, hate.
All right, so Yorha, you start off by kicking in that front door, right?
Absolutely, I do. Got an axe held in both hands. I'm kicking in the front door. I'm making as much noise as I can. All the noise. Yelling challenges in like old celestial that I don't actually know what the words mean anymore, and just raising hell.
Boom. So, inside the front door, you see 3 figures. They are standing guard at the front door, and they are just talking with each other in a guttural tongue that you do not recognize. Fritz, you see them as well. At the same time, the Eastern group also pops in. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's first through the door?
Oh,
Okay.
Not it.
So do you kick in the door, or do you like open it slowly? Like, what's the process?
Keith, like
No.
2 minutes ago, you were like, I can probably look after myself, and I'm a strong, independent bird who don't
If
need
there's
no
another
blah, blah,
group
blah.
causing commotion, like I mean, like if other people are coming with me, I'll let them go in, and then I can like go in after. If shields
Yeah.
are available, I will take them. Sorry, Jordan.
no, I do it quietly because Fritz sent me here because he believes me to be quieter than Yorha.
Oh, I was about to say we're about to have a stealth off. You're gonna start throwing my name in there.
No.
Stealth is a fun concept when your cover is a pitched battle going on elsewhere.
I screwed that up totally. Whatever. There you go. You get the general idea. There are 5 folks that are laying down.
Okay.
You slowly open the door. And give me a d20 for stealth.
Okay.
All of us, or just her?
Whoever's just opened the door.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be bad. What?
Wham.
Down. Nailed it.
Okay.
You're the
good.
sneakiest dwarf. It's amazing.
So, and they appear to be, they're laying there.
Okay.
If you don't know about it any better, you'd say that they were asleep. But they aren't moving, and they are making no sounds. They appear to be dormant.
I mean, I probably opened the door wide enough for Rathi to get like more interested in what he thinks we should do going forward.
I walk up to one of them, cover a mouth, and cast whatever the fire version of poison spray is.
Sort of
Oh my
bonfire
God.
in their mouth.
I think I misheard. I thought they were normal villagers. I'm sorry. If they're
Heartburn.
obviously hostile, then I totally start killing a bunch.
Yeah, they are obviously hostile.
Okay, cool. I start killing a bunch of them.
Normal villagers don't go dormant. That's a
I don't
weird
know.
term to use.
Okay.
Coup de grace thing in 5e? Probably not.
There is, actually.
This is not a crit.
Hits
Oh,
are
is it?
automatic crits, and I think, like, if you crit, they just die, and if you do enough damage, they just die, and it's about 9 times more involved than it strictly needs to be.
Hmm.
It's a control action with great effect. Roll.
There's 5, you said?
Yeah, there's 5 of them in the room. I'm not
Honest-
kidding about that, like, cover a mouth and bonfire them.
No, I
Fosh
agree.
that has first crack.
I'm just upset that I so badly misinterpreted what Mike told me. I'm going to try swinging a bunch of the beds into each other, like with my hammer, and crush them to death.
Nice.
You're going to try to what?
Swing my hammer into the bed so that they all like crash into each other.
Gotcha. Okay. Stop hammer time.
Oh my god, that's like the Darius move.
Yeah. No, that's totally what I was thinking. Just a
You-
giant cleave.
It's like hear Voshal's group being louder than mine. I'll just sigh and shake my head.
I doubt that.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be louder than what yours doing.
All right.
We're not, like,
so,
besmirching the honor of people's mothers here.
No.
Sinrathi, I need you to roll me. See, which one of these do you? You come more, so it probably makes more sense to share the rest there. Which one of these are you? Are you inner fireballing?
I mean, is there a particularly fancy looking one? Because
There is particular fancy looking ones.
I want to, like, cover that one's mouth And then as it wakes up and presumably tries to scream with lungs that no longer exist, I lock eyes with the rot and watch it die.
Cool. Okay. That's not. Yeah, I like it. So you rolled a hit. Roll it for damage, I guess.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Sacred Flame sucks at this. But I think I can re-roll it once if I don't like the result. That's 3. And then what's the Flames of Flethagos do? Can re-roll 1 die of fire damage per attack. Cool. Let's re-roll that 3 and come up with a 1. That's an 8.
Or an 8.
Ooh.
That's more.
I took a gamble and won.
Okay. Does it do 8 damage or?
It is 8 fire damage, and also I took a feat that makes me slightly angrier when I cast fire. I shed light in a radius, if I choose to, which I think I do in this case.
In a radiance.
No.
Oh. Fine.
Radians.
Mm-hmm. That's also good.
Pi radians.
Okay.
Did you burn the pie?
Well, it's 2 pi radians.
You burnt both pies?
I'm tolerable at this.
So there is a burst of fire from between your fingers. It's all smoky and stuff, and it's super it's badass, right? It's like a shining moment for you, right? Watch and die, fool. And you can feel there's resistance. There is a marked attempt to prevent your magic from being cast here. And it's not like you don't have problem reaching out. Ever since you've gotten this area, you don't have a problem reaching out to your power source. It's more like someone is actively trying to counterspell you.
I mean, I muscle through whatever arcane strength I have, I redouble it.
Oh yeah, and the creature, the fancy creature, the captain, takes a tremendous amount of internal fire damage, and then grips the bed and starts trying to push you off.
Oh.
I put a knee up on their belly.
To hold them down?
Yeah.
Vosh, roll a hit.
Okay. I don't suppose I have guidance.
Probably not.
No, okay. Just checking. Cool. So I'm using my warhammer.
They're prone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's advantage.
Okay.
Sounds good.
It's a melee attack.
Yeah, I was about to say advantage on melee, disadvantage on range.
I hit a 13.
That hits.
Okay.
Oh wait. Good lord. Okay. Nah, that hits. Roll damage. 7.
I mean, they're all 7.
No one's expecting this. They're just going to take damage.
Yeah. This is where I wanted to hit them all together and crash the beds together.
Right.
Would that
No, I like
do
that.
anything additional besides my warhammer?
What's that?
Would that do anything in addition to my warhammer hitting them?
With crashing the beds together?
Yeah, kind of.
I'm sure it's only giving them disadvantage. It'll be tangled up in bed sheets and splintered woods, and that would definitely be something they'd have to worry about if they weren't dead.
Okay.
I think that is another thing that they probably would need to deal with instead.
Are they 4E minions, functionally, 1 HP chumps?
They have some HP.
One
I want to say that they were never actually alive. They were just completely dead from the start. You're mangling corpses.
They're just extra dead.
Or pillows, in
Yeah, they all snuck out for a night on the town.
Yeah.
They left dummies behind.
We're the ringmates.
They are leaving that bar right now. Right? And there's giant columns of smoke and like a cavalry charge coming towards them. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, you smash the two of them together mightily with thy hammer and the beds, and there's a pretty terrific crash, but presumably there is a louder clash coming to the door. Keith, are you doing anything?
Hey, Yorha, did you ever give me back those things? Oh no, they probably burned up in the fire, huh?
Axes? Yeah, those axes are probably gone by now.
And the spear too, huh?
I mean, you could have tried to recover it. Spears are pretty easy to put back together, all told.
You could have asked the goblins in the bag to hand you some more armaments.
Yeah, can I have done that? Because, ooh, wait, no, everybody's nearby, so I can't cloud of thorns.
I mean, you could.
I mean, you just
Good.
don't aim it at one of the ones that's adjacent to us. You aim it at the back one.
Or you just stab with an arrow like a dagger and count as a melee weapon.
Yeah, Legolas this shit. It's gonna be great.
That sounds like a strength check, so I'm just gonna shoot at it.
I'm sure a wielded arrow is a precision weapon.
Strength with advantage or range with disadvantage.
I'm gonna go with disadvantage.
Roll.
Disadvantage. Boop, 21.
What?
Jeez.
How? What?
It
You
turns
share the
out
+8.
it turns out Kate's actually good at this.
Yeah. Wow.
So 6 piercing damage, and I get to. Is that kill it?
Not quite.
Do you have
Okay.
bow cleave?
I have. Hold on.
Yes.
So I'm gonna shoot the one right next to it. Also at disadvantage. 10. That one doesn't probably hit.
The 10 does not hit.
No.
Okay, so you range and wow, why do you have so many hit points?
Me? It's 28.
28 out of 12. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what
fixed
the
it.
hell that
Don't worry
was. Okay, good. We're good.
All right. So you hit the first one for 6 and the second one for 6?
Hit the first one for 6. The second one I missed. So
Oh, gotcha. So what the heck is going on with that? Oh, I just couldn't see it because the character's health bar is the same color as the stupid bed that they're on. Yeah, so you feathered the first one with a couple arrows, and it twitches, and then it goes to get up, and what is the happiness face? I'm sorry.
Sorry, just you put 2 arrows in this thing's chest and it just pushes itself up anyways. The arrows just go through.
good nap, and it's just oh.
So yeah, it pushes itself up, and there's a line of these wrought cable things that are connected to it that kind of pop off its back as it sits up from this crush thing, this bed. Let's go to the front door. Yorha, what are you doing?
Raging and smashing the nearest bad thing.
Okay, there are 3 bad things in front of you. One of them that has a captain's epaulets or whatever on their black. They've got this. The lobster has stripes. This is the yellow striped black lobster. Lobstrosity Knight.
Yeah, no, that guy seems like a good place to start. I will move into the doorway so as to protect my CO here. And I will yelling a challenge with the full-on Saiyan hair, Super Saiyan hair, bring my axe down towards this person for a 16
Damage or to hit?
16 to hit. No, sorry, 14 to hit.
If he does,
Damage.
then 16 damage.
Then actually 24 damage.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
You have a radiant.
Hmm.
So the The yellow striped black lobstrosity fighter knight catches your axe with its mailed hand.
That's not good.
Just
How
like-
big?
like
How
holds
big
it
are
up.
these things relative to me?
This thing's about your size.
Okay.
These aren't the Goliath ones from before.
Okay. I
Fritz.
yell something at him in like half draconic, half celestial, and
But all not German.
yeah, all definitely not German.
So is Draconic or Celestial French?
Celestial. Draconic's
Dra-
going to be like,
Italian.
Is Draconic Quebecois French?
Oh God. So I'm
I
just
like
like
that.
switching between dialects of French. Nice.
it's
Nice.
more Cajun than Quebecois, but yes. All right. Fritz, you're up.
Cajun dragons. That sounds amazing. Actually.
Red dragons speak Cajun. Because of the spice.
I'll take a shot at the guy straight ahead of me.
This one,
It's 17. Yeah.
17 hits and 8 damage.
10 damage. 10. But yeah, okay, 8's enough.
So yeah, what are you firing with? You got that the thunder ammo sort of thing
Yeah,
going on?
Yeah, the thunder cannon. Mini
Yeah,
railgun, whatever it is.
Yeah, you swing the alien smart gun weapon that you have in this D&D campaign, which because it's awesome, over and eliminate the one in front of you. You fire like, I don't know, a couple rounds. Do you fire salvos or just one big blah?
No, it's one single like elephant gun type shot.
Okay, there's a click and a boom, and the thing across from you kind of explodes into mushy gore, because we determined from the last time that they aren't really stuff on the inside. They're
You're
orange,
basically crabs.
yeah, orange peanut filling.
Cheeto
All right.
dust.
Keith, you're up again. We are in the normal initiative order.
Okay. Are any of these standing up now? Probably the one I shot. He's standing up, right?
Yeah. The one that you shot is trying to get up. The one that Sinrathi flame lunged is trying to stand, and the one on the far bed hasn't really realized what's happened yet.
Okay.
So should the rest of us roll initiative?
Have you not? Thought you did
Nope.
before.
Yes.
Oh, we did
No. Nobody has
Also,
except for Keith.
the maps.
Yeah. So Vashla, everybody roll initiative except for. If you click on your person first, it'll take.
No.
Mm-hmm.
There it goes. Well, that was a better one.
Wow, damn. Fritz.
I like how Yorha and I, if we rolled the same thing, our tiebreaker wouldn't work.
Mhm.
Then you have to
Actually,
come up with a different criteria each time.
I was just looking and apparently, or I was watching a YouTube video about D&D rules that people get wrong. Apparently that's not actually the tiebreaker, according to this person who was talking. I haven't looked at it. But
Okay.
apparently if
You
it's
just choose.
yeah, it's just 2 player characters, like, yeah, just somebody go. Pick.
That's fair. Okay, so I'm gonna run into the doorway. I'm going to hunter's mark the one over here on the left that I shot before,
Mhm.
and then surprising everyone, I'm gonna shoot it.
What?
Yeah.
Z-
Ready?
Zutelo the Tabernacle.
What's up, crit?
Wow. 20. Okay.
So 12 piercing damage plus another 5 damage to him. So
And the
17.
one that did you struck
Go for
before?
it.
I'm sorry, I missed your
Yes. Yeah, the one I hit before.
Okay,
Don't
he's
forget
at
your-
negative max hit points at this point, so
Okay. What'd you say, Zach?
Oh, did you already rolled the crit damage? Never mind. I was wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I
so
just
that one
trust
goes like through the
robots.
eye socket into the squishy orange matter that is its brain and destroys.
Can it do like when you hit somebody with the rebar crossbow on Half-Life and it just like sticks them to the wall?
Yeah.
Oh, the
Sweet.
railgun in Fear.
Yeah,
That
it's
gun
also
was
real
so good. You just staple fuckers to walls.
Basically anything that lets you like ragdoll stick people places. That probably says something like really bad about like just me as a human being, but
No, we all love it.
There's another tangent in there that I'm not going to get into right now, but yeah, it's everyone loves it.
okay. So since that one died, that means I get to reassign my hunter's mark. So I'm gonna assign it to the other one that's standing up and shoost him 23 for 1 piercing damage. And so 6 damage total.
Okay. That one is also so you bow cleave onto the other one, who wakes with a start and begins to disentangle itself from its hibernation crush. Fritz, there's time for a reload.
I already reloaded last round, or whatever.
Yeah, I'm just segueing.
Yeah, get a better angle on the other soldier behind. Take a shot at it. Only a 14 this time.
This thing has which, well, I guess it doesn't really. So
It's a soldier one, yeah.
So the soldiers have an AC of 18 and the captain's an AC of 17.
What?
To blitz through the
Because I didn't roll
process.
over an 18 last time.
You rolled a 17.
Yeah.
It was a surprise round. I
Okay.
took liberties. I'm a DM. I do that. from time to
They
time.
were
That's fine.
flat-footed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They lost that one AC from dexterity. I don't know. Whatever. I
Okay,
like that.
whatever. Well, then I certainly did not tag that one.
So that one brings up like those dark shields that we were talking about before to deflect the shot.
Yeah.
All right. Yorha, the captain that attacked you previously, or sorry, the captain that you attacked, it kind of like pushes aside your axe to the best of its ability.
Okay.
And attempts. Wow. Really? Okay. This is gonna be fun.
This is whatever it is that makes you say wow. It'll be great.
This is called multi-attack.
Nice.
So, what's the? How do I roll twice again?
Like two
Two
separate
axes.
things?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that you do.
Meh. Does a 15 or a 12 hit you?
One of the 15 does.
Okay. So you take.
What's your AC?
14.
Whoa, we have the same armor.
All right. So this thing
Oh.
like punches you or punches at you.
Okay.
And extends a black spike from its fist, sort of like its armor grows a black spike and stabs you with that. It tries to hit you a couple times and only catches you once. That's 12 piercing damage, which I believe you are resistant against.
Yeah, so I take 6.
Okay.
Yep. So I imagine it like sticks in my. He punches, and it like sticks in my flesh. And he pulls it out, and I'm just angrier now.
And then
Nice. Okay.
Those are dice.
the
That's
one
a lot of
behind you hits you again, or the one from behind hits you as well.
Okay.
So because you are essentially flanked by these things,
Okay.
the one stabs you to get your attention, and then the other one clobbers you with this black shield.
Okay.
And it's a blunt attack. I assume that you are also resistant to that, but you can feel it like stripping away at your skin as it does that. It's got that weird kind of
It's like a cheese grater.
yeah.
Like shark
All right.
skin.
Yeah, that's not great. Okay. Yeah. I'm now beset on both sides by terrible, terrible shit. Great.
And Sinrathi, the yellow striped captain attempts to rise off, tries to get. Be careful with my words here because I don't want to actually tries to remove you from itself. And it's going to make a similar melee attack against you.
Does it have? Oh, it just uses its armor as a weapon.
Yeah.
I give it disadvantage.
Nice.
You get disadvantage.
Because I'm a protective fighter.
Mm-hmm.
She's team mom.
So roll a 9.
That does not hit me.
Okay.
Get styled upon.
Yeah. So, it tosses you off of it. Sits up, and you can see these little black.
I like how you're like, I'm going to
connection
avoid
things
saying
bounce off
anything suggestive. It tosses you off.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, it wants to get you off. Well, that's not. That's what it is. It tosses you. Down. So, it tries to stab at you with this.
Stab me with its steely knife, but it just can't kill the beast.
Yeah, and it fails to do so. But it's found its footing. But it stumbles as it does so.
Did it
yes.
take damage for starting in my bonfire?
Yeah.
Because it's, I think, D8 again.
Roll D8.
No, wait, that was Sacred Flame. I used the wrong spell.
Okay.
But I'll use that again next turn.
You're her.
All right. I am going to, because I just got messed up by these two guys. So I'm going to turn. I'm going to shove the one off me, the soldier off me, angrily, and then I'm going to just in one motion turn and axe the captain as hard as I can.
Okay.
That's a 17.
Hits.
Dealing 20 damage, 6 of its radiant.
6 of its radiant. Okay. So, and that. Okay. So you hit the captain as hard as you can. Describe, embellish as you will, the process of hitting a cleaver that is anti-lobster.
Yeah. So I push the soldier and turn, and the other hand hits the axe handle, and we just sweep down, sort of in a diagonal cut. I imagine sort of under the fist that just sort of popped out of my shoulder from the last thing.
You want to take its arm completely off?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. We'll smash down through the arm and into the torso a little bit.
And its arm goes not literally flying off, but you cleave its arm off, and it the entire thing hisses, like steam escaping it, it's making that. Oh shit! What was that movie that had the creatures that made that horrible wailing sound when you killed them? It was like Never Ending Story or something.
Okay.
Or Labyrinth or Dark Crystal. Doesn't matter. One of those old 80s movies that goes crawl.
Okay.
And the creature makes these horrible high pitched wailing sound as you cleave into it with your radiant axe and chuck a chunk off its arm.
Nice.
Did you get a multi attack or anything like that, or?
I do if I crit or kill something, but
It's not quite dead yet.
Either of those things. Yep.
All right, Sinrathi, they have hope and fire.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think this thing is worth. What's the thing? Expending a spell slot. So I'm gonna continue cantripping it to death. So I slide back. I'm gonna actually back up a little bit further, specifically behind my trusty body dwarf. Boop. And then I'm going to use Sacred Flame again. So the thing needs to make a DC 14 Dex save. And I'm assuming it's within 60 feet of me, and the spell ignores cover.
It does, and it did.
Fuck. You found something with a dex score. Okay. The spell misses. Something nearby is set on Radiant.
The entire as you cast these spells, there is this weird deflection going on, right? The thing is clumsy and doesn't get out of the way. Something else is assisting it in deflecting your spell. Vashla.
It's armored, right?
Yes, everything here has a significant amount of armor.
Cool. I also use a cantrip, one called Shocking Grasp.
I, for
Grasp.
one, am surprised.
I'm shocked. Oh, damn it! I should have interrupted you.
And since it's armored, I have advantage. So I guess just a d20 plus my spell attack bonus.
Well, that'll do.
Wow.
I don't know if I wanted.
Roll again, see if you double crit.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Why not? I don't. But
No.
no.
Sorry, it doesn't matter. You got the crit.
Yeah. I crit.
So a crit doubles the random portion of your damage. So however many dice you roll that twice, and then
Okay.
add the static like +1 for int or whatever it is.
Wait. So I add the spell attack bonus?
Well, no.
to
So
the
it'll be
damage?
like 2d8, and then if it was like plus your int or whatever, then you'd add
Oh,
2d8.
yeah, no, it's just the d8.
Yeah.
13 damage.
Nice. 13 lightning damage is significant.
And you're hitting the big one, right?
Yeah.
And it can't take reactions.
That's really good.
You have a taser.
Yeah.
She's the cops.
Vashal's a cop.
We're rat cops.
But it's not radiant or anything. It's just regular electricity.
It's just electricity.
Okay. So do you hate these things? Are you giving in to your hate? Do you go full on Darth Sidious on these things? Right.
I'm probably upset that the bed thing didn't go as much as I wanted it to.
And also try to kill some other thing.
Yes.
Darth Vashla sounds like a Sith. I just want to.
So probably when it like tried to reach for Sinrathi, my deflecting it kind of involved me moving in front of Sinrathi at the same time, and that's when like my fist like sparking hits him.
Nice. Okay. Awesome. So the thing rides in electricity, and yeah, it is not what you'd call a good ride, I guess. It is being electrocuted, right? Wow, did I say that out loud? Yeah, it's shocked, and it's all all its muscles go taut, and it just sits there, convulses. And
We're learning an
steams.
awful lot about what these monsters are into, I feel like, tonight.
Can I add a detail?
Yes.
Some of its muscles like tense hard enough that you hear bones break.
Nice. Yes. Will this do what I want? No, that's too small. Here, let's try this one. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty cool. There's no electricity though. That's sad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put it on like a wish list.
It's hard to do electricity that isn't just yellowy particles.
Yeah.
Blue
Like
and
it
yellow
wouldn't
is what I was looking for.
it wouldn't do the same. Like it wouldn't do different animations that it would kind of need to do. Anyways.
I need 30 seconds to use the restroom. I'll be right back.
Let's take a commercial break.
Yeah, do we
But
want to
like,
take a break or do we
Let's
want
just
to
take a
just
break.
fill?
30 seconds.
We can finish it.
I
Or
mean,
whatever.
We're also
Yeah,
like
it's all-
20 minutes from midnight, so
Right.
Yeah.
What?
nothing.
Just give me 30 seconds. I'll be right back.
Okay. Whose turn is it next?
Soldier.
What a scamp those soldiers are. You know,
All getting killed and everything.
seriously.
That soldier hit me real hard. So
I think like they're wolves or something reskinned, probably,
That would
right?
make
Like
sense.
that's Andrew's guess.
that would make sense. Just yeah, I guess if you're down to just the one now, you're probably fine.
Yeah. I also have a
Yes.
feeling like we kick open the door to this like main area and there's like the boss fight that ends the thing.
Probably.
That's how my narrative is sort of like my Andrew's narrative brain is predicting the beginning of the end.
End of the beginning.
Also, just reminiscing in chat right now about old campaigns that we had that we got like 2 sessions into and then they fell over and caught fire.
Mm-hmm.
That That Fallout one spoke to my heart. I tried to seduce a super mutant, and then... Do I turn every game into Monster Hearts?
Do you think you don't?
I don't think I've done it in this one.
I was gonna say, have you tried to seduce anything here? I'm not sure you have.
I would think that I would remember if I got to
Follow me,
Also,
follow me,
like,
follow me,
let's put
follow
that-
me, follow me, follow
Yeah.
me.
Your
For that
13th age necromancer character did not try to seduce anyone.
She was trying to get
That's
all
not
sorts of
true.
bones.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, boo, boo.
So this one runs up and tries to stab Sinrathi. I don't know what they're rolling because it's all the way in this other tab here.
I'm also behind my meat shield.
Yeah.
I'm in Voshla. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
If there aren't words underneath the character's portrait, I have problems with words.
Okay.
Save.
So, since my turn went, does that mean I get my reactions back?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So it attempts to stab you. Yeah, this one produces like an axe blade out of its hands. That's cooler, and tries to axe you.
It does not hit me.
And no, unless you have serious dexterity problems, of which I was.
My AC is 18.
Yorha, the soldier that bashed you with its shield thing, turns his hand into like these monsters are now Clayface, all Clayface, like a giant mace hand, and attempts to smash you with its mace hand.
They're Clayface, but it's like chitin.
Yeah.
Clay Mace.
A 17 versus AC.
Yeah, it's a solid hit.
Okay. It is gonna hit you for 1d8 plus 1. It's a 4.
Okay, I take 2.
And Kaith, thou art uppeth.
Just this one is left alive, right?
Yeah.
Is that the one I had my mark on?
Probably.
Okay.
No,
if
there's
not,
2 left alive. There's the captain with the red dot, soldier, which is marked. And I'm gonna give it an icon. It says know that you know it's marked.
Cool. Okay, well, soldier is first up. And are these guys within 5 meters of each other?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to shoot it. And then if it hits, then we're going to get some Hail of Thorns off of it. So soldier, 14. Probably not.
They have 18.
Probably not.
18.
The captain's actually easier to hit.
Really?
Yeah.
But I didn't have
By one.
my mark on him, so. Oh well. Wait, hold on. I'll check something.
Fritz.
Oh, I can make another weapon attack against a different creature. It doesn't have to. The first one doesn't have to hit. It just says when I make a weapon attack.
Yeah, your bow
So-
cleave is always on.
Yeah. So I'm gonna shoot the captain, and if that hits, then it's gonna be Hail of Thorns.
Okay, do it to it.
26.
We'll hit.
They both take 3 piercing.
They have to fail the DC, the dex save.
Yeah, if they yeah.
I believe that these guys are on plus 1.
Does that hit me?
No, it hit it's on the captain, so you're like far away, maybe.
Captain succeeded. The other one did not.
Okay. So my mark says on a hit they do extra. So he was hit by Hail of Thorns. Does he take Hunter's Mark damage too?
Yep.
Sounds right to me.
Fucking 1 damage.
If,
Whoop,
if
whoop.
you had rolled a 2, you would have killed him.
God, shit.
I'm giving it to you.
I poke him.
Gosh, sneezes.
Sasha
and
uses
the new...
harsh language. It's super effective.
No. It's like residual static from that previous punch.
Ooh, I like it. Yeah.
Well, no.
That's
The because of the tasering, the limb flies out and just like beans him.
Just smacks
Yeah.
him.
He's like getting ready to come at Kaith, and then just like suddenly like back fisted by the yes.
And Fritz, you rolled a 22, I believe.
Yeah, territory against a soldier for 10 damage.
All right. That totally will kill it.
Probably reposition or something.
Might be wise, although they seem to be perfectly happy to beat on me, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So
to do.
captains are all that are left. The captain up here, I believe, takes electricity damage at the start of its turn, or your turn. Yorha or Vashla, sorry.
It's
Neither.
Vash's turn. Vasha can reuse it if she wants. If it's not
Yeah,
him.
that's
I thought that was Witch Bolt.
Yeah, that was Witch Bolt.
Oh,
No, but I mean, what I hit the dude with was a cantrip, so I can just cast it again. But like the one that automatically keeps going is Witch Bolt.
So they don't take any damage at start of round.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. It walks on over and tries to
It tries to what? You cut out.
murder.
Who?
Yeah.
do the murder thing.
It brings both of its arms back together to form like a giant axe blade, and then swings it down at you.
Okay.
21.
I use shields.
What does that do?
1 second, I will look at.
I think it's like +4 AC, so her AC
It's
becomes
5.
22. So 23.
My AC is 23.
Jesus.
That's a wonderful reaction.
Yeah. That's why I
Pretty
asked,
amazing.
do I get my reaction back?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I just
Nice.
think it's my signature move, I guess. If something tries to hit me and it fails, I wink.
And then this other one tries to do the same thing to you. You are, except like it tries to like man, I want to like
It makes the kill scissors blade.
oh, but I don't want the bad guys doing kill stuff. 17 versus your AC.
Hey, that's a hit. Yeah.
It's gonna throw its arm at you, which attempts to choke you.
Okay.
6 damage.
Okay. Take 3 more damage. All right. I like that. I like that the arm's like hanging off my neck now. Right?
Yeah.
Attempting to choke me.
Good.
I'm totally distracted by Kill right now. So that was a fun anime, even though it's incredibly silly. Yeah. So you have a clawing at you, and I believe it's your turn for a sweet retribution.
All right, cool. I'm going to kick this dude in the chest as hard as I can. I'm going to bring my axe down through him, hopefully. With the hand still hanging from my neck. I'm just ignoring that momentarily.
Gotcha.
That
All right.
seems unimportant at the moment.
Yeah, the 22 will hit.
All right, so that's going to be 19 total with 5 of it being radiant.
I mean, that's way more than. Yeah, that's plenty.
All right, so I kick him backwards and then like bury the axe in his torso, and then kick him back off the axe and sort of dismissively just chuck the hand onto the pile of body.
It gives you the finger as it does.
Nice. Nice.
I'm watching
Shitty-
Ash vs. Evil Dead.
shitty
Serapi,
Tilly.
you're up.
It's very Terminator 2, yes.
Serapi, you're up.
I think I'm gonna start a bonfire under the remaining one, which is still a dex save, but it also has to make the. I don't even know if it makes the save at the start of its next turn, or if it just takes the damage. But yeah, DC 14 dex save takes 6 damage, and I'll read how the spell works between this turn and its next turn.
All right, do I need to roll resistance or
Yeah,
Or you
Yeah.
going?
DC 6 or 14. Or
That's,
take 1 fire damage. I'm gonna
No.
quickly
not one
reroll
fire
that to
damage.
1 fire damage.
I rolled a 21.
Congratulations, you save. Please hold as I check my spell book for how the spell works. And
Oh, is
maybe
it a spell or is it a grimoire? Because it's a grimoire, it'll have extra spells. For
that's
you.
true. I should get that and then switch it, but that's also like I need time to.
It's like 6 seconds to change a weapon in the middle of combat. Vashla.
Hello.
Sinrathi desperately needs your help.
I use shocking grasp again. That did not hit, and then that
There you
probably
go.
hits.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, cool. And then d8 damage, 5 damage.
Nice. So describe how you kill this thing.
I see it trying to go past, or like it's going for Sinrathi again.
Mhm.
I probably say something like, along the lines of, "Haven't learned your lesson. You tried this earlier. Blah blah blah. It didn't work. Sit down." And like as I say, "Sit down," I punch him into the floor with the lightning.
You bring the hammer down.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. So you splatterize the thing, and it makes a horrible mess on this otherwise nice wood floor.
Not the floor.
Yeah, not the floor. And so this entire room looks like a dormitory of some sort, but the beds have all been like retrofit with these horrible black tendrils.
Past tense, I burned them all with my bonfire.
The place is on fire now.
I was gonna say, does the corpse make the deck save?
I hope not.
Let's find out.
That's a pretty big penalty. The no longer animate penalty.
I mean, it's pretty steep, but they can get through it. Well, this one can't. -14.
The building is on fire, and this time it's actually my fault.
And like this room has a whole bunch of stuff, like bare parts of the wall that look like there's something there once. Yeah, you know how like old rooms when you've got like something like a tapestry or a painting or something on the wall for a long time.
That's definitely how my brain
there's like an
interpreted that
arm.
first. Yeah.
There's a nose.
Think about the
there's-
campaign we're
there's-
playing. Think about the person running it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I dig that stuff. But so it's all undressed, bare. Shit. The walls are naked.
Unfinished?
The wall's a different color than the wall around it, so you could tell there was something hanging there at some point.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad my notional descriptions of these rooms are clear as opposed to my actual descriptions of these rooms. Yeah, and you are now scorching the walls clean because you just burned everything, right?
And then
You're
kicking
horrible.
down this door.
We're gonna like cliffhanger this right here. What's in the next room?
I'm gonna open the door to the next room. So do you want to converge in the center area, or do you want to explore the rest of this place?
I think we just go for the center.
Yeah,
Strike-
Kate's gonna run up ahead and try to like action movie kick the door open.
Oh, so now Kaith leads from the front.
And break her little bird bone
As I
leg.
said, she bounces right off.
Her hollow legs.
It just crumples against the foot of the door.
Let's do this. Thump, help me. You know what? I'm lucky it's not a glass door. I would have run right into it, not knowing
It
it.
actually,
Oh,
it actually opens inwards too.
All right. So the two groups, are going to run into these little antechamber filled with apparently statues, because that's weird. Maybe those are supposed to be people for statues.
significantly weird. What the?
Yeah, and we will open the room on this here. Can I just scroll out a little bit? Just do that. Bam.
Oh,
Hey,
good.
well, hey, there's some things happening here. Is that a bee with boxing gloves?
I want to point out the hipster beholder.
So
He beheld before it was cool.
there's actually a great story here. I found the Rot Priest, which is Christ Thulu Priest. And I could not, I had to use everything in that set. So there's a hipster beholder and a werewolf bouncer and just some amazing artwork here.
That wasp
I-
has 4 boxing gloves.
I want
Well,
to point out my. I'm sorry to call you out like this, but you fucked up by not having more than one member of that rat pack.
I did.
Ugh. Ugh.
So the description here. This is in what was once the worship hall for the imperial cult to Ash. The room has been desecrated is not quite the right word, because the iconography of Ash has been removed but it's not like, defiled, right?
Yeah, they didn't graffiti over it. They just took it
Right.
down.
They just took it down. They smashed the faces out of the windows, but they haven't actually defiled all the stuff. Instead, this entire room is covered with thick, ropey tendrils of rot that all kind of like spill off the main altar down into the pew areas and along the floors. These rot tendrils creep along the walls and join towards the ceiling to give this room this kind of vaulted, arched look, lined with thick rot tendrils. And in the far where the altar is, there are these thick, rocky, like stalagmites that have stick up out of the ground, framing this giant orange flickering portal. And it's not like opaque like the other portals you've seen. This one's transparent, and it leads through to another world, something that is not totally alien, because I hate that phrase. There are massive fungus monoliths that tower up to the sky. There is just a single burning orb that beats down, and everything everywhere is covered in this fine orange fur. And there are these flickering orange tendrils that reach out from either side of the portal that kind of connect it to the wall. And it is there that will end the session, with this fully instantiated portal and its priest and practitioners.
Sweet.
Man, they really productionalized this portal. This
like a whole artist spent time on it.
Yeah. Also, I just want to point out that like this whole campaign, and especially like the last 2 minutes there, are giving me flashbacks to two specific touchstones in media. One is the Geth Temple in Mass Effect 1, where you just happen upon some Geth who are like chilling out, praying to some, and then the other one is Nier Automata, where the machines just find some vestige of human civilization and recreate it endlessly, not fully understanding what they're doing. So, good job channeling those facets into your media and tying them, like making me think of a thing that, like, two things that I hold in incredibly high regard. Like, you done good.
Yay!
You derb gerb.
We'll deal with that room next time.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. So y'all, thank you very much for tuning in. This has been That D&D Podcast presents Knights of the Ashen Empire. This is we run D&D 5th edition. These lovely humans here with me all say wonderful things. I mean, good night, I guess, is what they should be saying. Come join us on Twitch. We're That D&D Podcast, or Twitter, we are That D&D Podcast, or Facebook and social medias, we are That D&D Podcast. If you like us, toss us a sub or throw some Patreon. Thank you all for your time. Do wonderful things. And be punk or counterculture in some way.
Good night, I guess.
Good night, Internet.